100%. Wait, Mafia. Oh my gosh, these kids again. Please don't stop the 6, 7 stuff. Hello, good people. I know I'm a bit late, but just got off another channel. So I need to go for a walk. My system is frustrating me, man. What's up, Mike? Yeah, we still got sunlight here. Man, we in Texas. We're not like you Northerners, you Northern Virginians and Kentuckians, Tennesseans and Ecuadorians. We are civilized people in this state. I just got off I was trying to do a stream, man. I was doing my stream, man, my music stream. And my Streamlabs app, it failed, man. It kept failing. I started it up again. I'd still been on it, man, if it didn't fail. And I looked, I think I ran out of space. My computer is running out of space, bro. My hard drive only has like 773 megabytes left out of like 950 gigabytes. That show you how much music I've been doing, bro, over the last 2 years. I had 950 gigabytes. I'm down to my last 773 megabytes. So I had to go through and delete a lot of stuff, man, that I be using. You know what I'm saying? Or that I don't be using. So I silly. So that's what I said. That's why I said like uh a lot of that stuff on there was like my render projects, you know what I'm saying? So all my hour-long um affirmational videos, the ambient music and stuff like that. Oh, that takes some gigabytes, man. That stuff be 3 gigabytes, 4 gigabytes, and you got like 20 of them. So that stuff adds up, you know what I'm saying? So I had to go through and kind of like delete a lot of them. And, because they're on YouTube, and if anything, I can just re-download them from YouTube if I need to. But I still have the MP3 WAV files instead of the video. You know what I'm saying? That stuff take up space. So all my folders, man, is getting cram packed. So I'm investing in some more hard drives, man, and so I can just dump everything on the backups. So I can clear up space, man. 'Cause that's one thing, man. Your hard drives be gone quick, like your space be gone fast. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because you wouldn't even notice it, man. You know what I mean? But I got to remember, y'all. I made this is 2 years of doing live streams, so 2 years of my music, man, has just been piling up on the computer. You know what I'm saying? So what happened? The other channel was tripping. No, it wasn't the channel. It was the uh. I'm not really sure, but I think it was the hard drive. Like I was running out of space, and so it takes space. It requires a lot of space to kind of like do that type of stuff. Plus, I think I need to restart it too. Just restart it, refresh it. The graphics card probably needs to be updated, so I gotta install the latest driver. I thought I just did it, but you know how they update all the time. But I'm on my last couple of megabytes, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna need to clear some more space to be able to be doing this. So what you gotta understand, I'm running like 3 apps at the same time. So this computer is a gaming PC. You know what I'm saying? Gaming PCs are the best computers to use. You know what I'm saying? Like my laptop is a gaming PC, and um my computer's a gaming PC. Gaming PC takes a lot of graphics, so you have to have a large processor, you know what I'm saying? So those got real big processors, some of the best. NVIDIA, get any Imma tell y'all now, if y'all invest in the computers, if you're trying to do projects and do what I'm doing, or you trying to do something better, always get one that's got NVIDIA. It has to have a high process power, because if you don't, your computer gonna be slow, the graphics gonna suck, you know what I'm saying? So my computer, just like my laptop, allows me to do multiple things at one time. So I can have this app open, this app open, this app open, you know what I'm saying? So using FL Studio takes a lot of power, you know, and graphics. And then using the streaming software that I'm using takes a lot of graphics too, you know what I'm saying? So you need something that has like high processing power. It's a little bit more money, but it's worth it. You know what I'm saying? You might get you one, like I got my laptop for it was around like 1,000 or so, you know what I'm saying? But it's touchscreen and you can do a lot more with it, you know what I'm saying? Invest in something good, man. Because my old laptop I had it was an older version, you know what I'm saying? So you could do as much on it as you could. That's why I was slow, you know what I'm saying? But uh so now, like I said, I got 3 different apps open. I got the webcam app open to stream from my other phone to y'all, you know what I'm saying? and then I have the Google app open. Like you got a lot of apps open, man. You know what I'm saying? So it takes a lot of processing power to do this. So that's why I tell y'all, man, like invest in your software. It's a little pricey, but gotta pay to have something nice, man. Bring y'all some good quality music. But y'all see the sounds better, don't it? It sound better, it look better, the feel of it is better, all of that, man. You know what I'm saying? So um, but dang, it sucks, man, because I was on the road, man. Cause usually the last couple of days I'll be making my trap. So but this one I'm doing like Mandela trap, you know what I'm saying? A melodic trap. That's like those are like the Gunna type beats, the ATL kind of like medelic vibes, like the smooth kind of like trap soul vibes with like the what do you call those beats, man? I think at first they was calling them like well, I just call them Gunna beats because it sound like his type stuff. Like more of like the chill hip hop type, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like they kind of singing with it, but it's like a nice little, you know what I'm saying? Like they'll take like something that sounds like a medieval type beat with a flute or something that's like smooth pass that sound kind of like soulish, and then they'll put like their own little beats to it. Like that's what melodic trap is. So I was on the road, man. I was making it, boy. I was good. But I was about to kill it, and then it said my program had stopped, and it said, "Well, you still streaming in the background, but your program stopped." And it said, "Don't worry, your stream is still going." You know what I'm saying? And then I get on there, and then it says it stopped. I'm like, dude, this is what I'm saying. Like, it's pissing me off. So I had to start it up again, and it kept doing it. So I'm like, maybe it's just the space. I'm out of space. Or the computer needs to just restart, you know what I'm saying? So just get it restarted. Oh. But the goal is I'm gonna start doing it from my laptop too, So um because I want to start going outdoors and doing it, you know what I'm saying? So that'd be fun. You know what I'm saying? Just setting up other places. That's why I said it's crisp, man. It sounds good, you know what I'm saying? So I was listening to what I was doing earlier today. I said, man, that sounds good, you know what I'm saying? Even my even my guy, man, P, he was telling me, he said, "Yeah, man, that stuff sound good." You know what I'm saying? Like people be jamming to that in the car because now it's got stereo sound. At first, it was like just coming from the phone microphone sound, so it sounded all right. Like it sounded good, but it wasn't nothing you could like stream in your car. But now this is stuff that's coming straight from the. That's why I said like, well, what I'm using is coming straight from the processor. So when it's coming from the computer, you hear the whole sound, like what you were hearing when you got headphones on, like how what I hear in front of my speakers, how crisp and how nice it sounds. That's how y'all sound. That's how it sounds to y'all. Because now it's not coming from just the phone speaker; it's coming from the computer processor. So that's why it sounds so good. You know what I mean? So that's why I said, the best thing that happened, man, was when YouTube's audio sucked because it made me download this. You know what I'm saying? It made me download the Streamlabs so I can stream stuff now. You know what I'm saying? And so even like with the piano stuff, you know what I mean? Like I'm doing that too. And it sounds so much better, man. You know what I'm saying? I've been playing at that cafe place I go, and then I've been posting the snippets to TikTok and YouTube, you know what I'm saying? And Instagram and Facebook. But it definitely, bro, it takes off when it goes to like TikTok and YouTube. It's something about the views. The views is like shoot up, you know what I'm saying? I think TikTok is even better because like TikTok just gets a whole bunch of people. I don't know where they be coming from, you know what I'm saying? Subs every day, man. You know what I'm saying? Likes and comments every single day. So I said it just gets bigger as it goes on, you know what I'm saying? Because I noticed like I think the last 7 to 8 posts I've been doing, those are the ones that's going kind of somewhere. I won't say like viral. 'Cause they're not like huge, huge, but they've been getting a lot of attention. You know what I mean? So, uh, so that's pretty neat, man, just to see what it's doing. I was like, yo, God, good, man. He been touching the music. I prayed on him to touch the music, man. He has been. You know what I mean? So, um, Instagram, I don't know. Instagram is like a little slow. I don't know if there's something wrong with them. You know what I'm saying? Um, Facebook is actually working pretty good. Facebook actually works better than Instagram, for real. Uh, but it's cool. So I was actually gonna stream on this channel. I was gonna like maybe do like a little stream on here, you know what I'm saying, since this one has more people and to give people a kind of a taste of what I'm doing on my new stuff. So if people did want to kind of go over to the next stuff, like the next channel, I was gonna kind of let them, you know what I mean? Because this channel, of course, this channel is more heavily saturated with the algorithm because I use this one every day, and it's a little bigger. So YouTube is gonna push whatever I do over here more to a wider, broader, worldwide audience. New stuff it takes a minute. Um, but it do. I mean, there's times I get off the stream, I only had like 30 people in there. And then I'll come back like the next day, then it's up to 60, then it's up to 80. Like people just keep watching every day. So You know what I'm saying? It's growing. I see my analytics taking off, but um then I remember I was like, no, I don't like people over here. You know what I mean? The whole goal of we doing it over there, so the ones over here don't go over there and do that. So smell good. Listen, I'm super excited myself. Like, you know, that's why I said I just been thinking. I'm just like, man, I want to just do some big new things. You know what I'm saying? Some big new things. Um, Even with my lease is about to be up. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, again, this area was cool. It wasn't meant to live here for 2 years. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, boy, I'm so tired of renting with these fools. Like, I don't pay y'all niggas no more money. And I said, I just want to just I don't know. I want to start traveling. I couldn't really travel, man, because I was working from home and then on top of it, man, you know what I'm saying? Like you save your little son. I said, but most of your money go to bills, you know what I'm saying? And where I live at, it's not cheap. That's why I said this is not cheap. Like you see, I'm around all this shopping stuff, man. They charge you for all of that, you know what I mean? So I'm like, you know what? Having a luxury apartment, you know how we do? We think that because we have something good, that's the end goal. It's like, no, it wasn't. Like, I love this luxury apartment. It's the nicest place I ever lived in my life. But that's not it. So God don't care about no luxury apartment. He gonna give you a house, piece of land or something. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that's why I hated living here so much. Because I'm just like, I liked it at first, and then I was just like, bro, this place sucks. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm so used to it. You know what I mean? Like people be like, oh, that's a luxury district in the high end. I'm just like, I'm so used to it every day. I'm like, what's all right? You know what I mean? Because I'm just like, obviously you get tired of it. So I said, God got something better for me than just a luxury apartment, man. Luxury apartments, they suck now. I'm like, this is what we doing. We paying house money for this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, man, when you think about it, it's like, bro, we think we living somewhere nice. Like, bro, you don't even own it. Like, at least a mortgage, you get to pay it off. It's yours. We are paying mortgage prices, man, a month for something that we just are never gonna be able to pay off. We never gonna own it. So I'm just like, honestly, man, I want something that I can say is mine. You know what I'm saying? Nigga trying to buy him a vineyard land, man, over in like Italy or something. Like I can have a vineyard or something, have a rose bush garden or something. You know, um, that's just my next goal. I'm just like, listen, I love San Antonio, and I do plan on being here for a really, really long time. You know what I'm saying? But the goal is not just to be stuck in one place. You can still live here, but you can also still have a piece of property elsewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like you can still own land overseas. You know what I'm saying? Just in case you need to. So I'm like, honestly, man, that's just what I'm thinking. I'm thinking about something just I don't know, big and better than this. Like this is one of the nicest places in the city, but this ain't the only nice place in the city. There's some places better than this. There's some places up the street from here. That's where all the NBA young, I say NBA young boys. That's where all the NBA players live at. Like all the NBA players, all the people that got the real money, stuff like that. Like they live up there. So I've seen them areas. Oh my God, they're beautiful. My homeboy did his DoorDash over there. He said, man, he said they was giving like $20 tips and stuff. They was just like giving out money like it wasn't nothing. I said, man, shoot. I said, man, shoot. This look like something out of California, y'all. I ain't never seen houses like this. And then you keep going up the road, keep going up the highway about like 10, 15 minutes. I went to the church I go to. I went to the pastor's house, man, for like a men's ministry last year. And man, he got a beautiful, oh my God, beautiful home, dude. It's like beautiful. It's on top of the hills. Like, you know what I'm saying? He got like a little farm, a little ranch out there, you know what I'm saying? House beautiful. Oh my God. I was like, yo. I said, yo. And you know what I'm saying? So he had us all come up here because it was like a little men's thing. We can like shoot our guns and stuff like that. And I'm talking about, yo, he has this beautiful, oh my God, he has this beautiful pool that's like it lights up at night. Oh, it's beautiful, y'all. It's beautiful. I was like, dude, he has some nice stuff, you know what I'm saying? And then the house was just so nice. And they so welcoming and so friendly. Yeah, come on in, you know what I'm saying? And so again, at the time, like I said, I know people. I don't know people, know people, know people, know people. Like you know what I'm saying? Just oh yeah, come on through. Yeah, come on to the house. You know what I'm saying? Come see what's up. And I said, "Man, you got animals?" He's like, "Yeah." I said, "Dang." I said, "Dang," because again, I always want a nice house in like a real nice area. But I said, I'm always like, I want a nice house, man, that's on top of a hill too. You know what I'm saying? Like that's away from everybody because he has a view where you can see over the mountaintops. Like, oh, it's beautiful, man. Like, oh, I said, Lord, I said, now I'm definitely not envious, but I said, God, give me something like this. You know what I'm saying? And he even preached it in one of the sermons. He was like, he said, he said, I came from Section 8, man, or welfare. He said, my whole life, man, we was on welfare and didn't have nothing, whatever. He said, he started getting older and prayed to God to start owning stuff and getting property and stuff, and God blessed him with it. He said, "Me and my wife was blessed to have this real, real nice house." He said, "But we didn't want people to think that we was taking church finances, and you know how people be with pastors because niggas be broke, and so they be mad because pastor got something." And so he said, "We didn't want people to think that we was just flexing and we taking finances." And he said, "So we didn't tell people a lot of stuff that we had." You know what I'm saying? And so he had said God told him, he was like, "Why are you hiding the blessings that I gave you?" He said, "I gave it to you to show people." Which goes back to Psalm 23, right? He said, "Why you hiding the stuff that I done for you? I gave that to you so you could show people my goodness." He said, "So you not showing people is not doing my will." And I said, "Yep." What's that? Sound like that Psalm 23. So whenever God give me something, I get on here and boast about it because I'm like, no, I ain't gonna have what God's done. I ain't gonna have none of that. We've been on here all the time talking about how hard it is and how much we're struggling. I said, no, I'm gonna definitely tell you what God did because when it came to struggling, we sure wasn't shy to talk about that. We letting niggas talk on our DMs. We sure willing wasn't shy to tell you what people said. Well, now I'm gonna show you what God did now. So, so I said, God bless me with the house. I said, Lord, bless me with the house. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gotta be no time soon, but I would show love if he did. Lord Jesus, I'm so tired of renting, y'all. I feel like that's one of the best feelings in the world. Like, you don't worked all this time, you've been living in an apartment, working some job or two jobs or whatever, and then you finally got enough money to get a house. And then it's like moving day. It's like you moving out this apartment complex. You ain't got to live by people like that no more. You take everything from your apartment, moving into your house. And I guarantee you that's the best sleep you ever gonna get. Cause you ain't gotta hear no, you ain't gotta walk up no stories no more. You ain't gotta have a parking complex where you can find somewhere to park. Like you got your own driveway. Like, man, that's nice, dude. In Texas, we don't got basements here. So everybody has like sheds or like barns or something, you know what I'm saying? Or garages or whatever. Like, cause for some reason San Antonio don't have like basements. Cause the ground level here, something about the ground level, it's like they don't do it for some reason. Um, Well, that's cool. I'm just like, shoot, you can have a nice garage. I'll turn my garage to my studio. I ain't lying to you. I said, God, you know the stuff I want to do, man. Come on. Like, I'm trying to do. I don't know if I want to turn one of my other bedrooms to my studio. I'll turn a garage to the studio. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. I'll just have it for like a little, you know what I'm saying? If one of the homies need to come lay low, kick it there, hey, you can kick it there. Or if I have out of town guests or something, you know what I'm saying? Which would probably be very rarely because I don't want niggas on my house. You know what I'm saying? But I want to do something with it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, I want to do some big things, man. I'm not even lying to you. And so that's why I said we in the maturity stage where I'm just like, God, I want a house. Like, you don't care about that nightclub and the party and stuff no more. Like, I want a house, man. I want to just settle down and have something nice, nice, man, and do something. So I just want to have a home studio. That's one of my favorite things about it. Like, I just want to have a home studio, man, where I can renovate it and do what I want with it. You know what I'm saying? And be nice, man. Cause like I said, I work from home anyways. So I can really work from anywhere in the world. You know what I'm saying? So I can leave my home and go somewhere else in the world and work. You know what I'm saying? Have somebody check on it for me, like I said, when I'm out of town, when I'm doing these long tours, because I told you I'm about to start doing a European tour. I'm not even lying to y'all, bro. I told y'all. I'm about to start going any and everywhere. I told y'all I'm about to start going places. I don't want to stay stuck. I don't want to stay here no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love San Antonio, but dude, I've been here almost every single day, unless I'm going back to Louisville to do my work. You know what I'm saying? I said, but it's a great city, but it's not a city you want to stay at 365 days a year. You know what I'm saying? You got to get out, man. Everybody, it don't matter if you're in the greatest city on earth. Everybody wants to kind of leave where they from, you know what I'm saying? And just or where they at and just go somewhere else. So, yeah, man, I'm trying to I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. So, whether the house is here in San Antonio or the house is over in Monte Carlo, you know what I'm saying? Or it's in Portugal or something. I don't know. Like, you can have multiple properties, you know what I'm saying? I don't think small no more. I said, man, look, man, when God brings his finances, bring his money, it's going to be some big stuff. So, we're going to do some big things with it. So that's why I said I ain't worried about no little crappy apartment, man. I ain't care about that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, my rent in my last apartment that I had, the first one I had since when I was in San Antonio, it was like 860. You know what I'm saying? Which ain't bad. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't a bad apartment. It's just the area wasn't really that bad either. But it was just, it wasn't as nice as this one. You know what I'm saying? But it was still nice. But the apartments definitely was not nowhere near as nice as these. But I'm like, so what? We just upgraded to this, man. This is 1200. You know what I'm saying? And they trying to raise it up to 1,400. I'm just like, yeah, y'all ain't getting another cent from me. I ain't paying y'all niggas nothing else. I'm like, nah, man, I'm tired of this. 'Cause I told him, I said, hey man, because I had a talk with him yesterday. I said, hey man, y'all got these roaches all over the place. And they said, well, did you put in the work order? I shouldn't have to put in the work order, nigga. This is your job. Y'all always in everybody's crib all the time. And she's like, oh well, yeah, we don't have you on the list. She's like, oh, don't worry, we're gonna send an exterminator or whatever out there tomorrow morning. They never came. Never came. I said, you know what? I ain't paying y'all. I said, I ain't paying you niggas. Go through this. I said, see, that's the type of stuff I'm talking about right there. That's the type of stuff I'm talking about. Y'all want your money on time, but y'all don't do y'all job on time. So I'm not paying y'all nothing else. So don't ask me for nothing else. Stuff just get on your nerves. I'm like, bro, this you can't be serious, dude. Like, come on. And that's why I said at this rate, dealing with y'all foods, man, we'll never buy a house. We can never afford a house, man. We keep playing with y'all. I'm like, I'll never want to rent for the rest of my life, man. I said I probably should have just lived here for about a year and then really started thinking about weighing my options about like looking at housing and stuff. I didn't have time to do housing because I was so busy working and traveling. And then on top of it, it's just like, bro, you was getting stressed living here, man. It's just like, dude, they keep charging you all this money. And then I'm like, bro, and then you're thinking like, bro, if I do start saving, it won't be enough to start getting a house, man. Because again, like I said, they charge you all this money. So it's like, bro, I just want to use my money towards something that's actually gonna mean something. You know what I mean? Like, so I've been thinking about some good things, man, some housing, all type of stuff, man. So, but there's so many areas here to live at. You don't even know where you would want to go. You know what I'm saying? Like houses up here. I was talking to a woman at church, man. She's in real estate. A lot of people into real estate. And so she was talking about like how she owns, but she had said she owned like 6 properties. I said, hey man, let me buy one of them off of you, man. Like real. And so she was like, she been doing it for some years. I said, hey, teach me, you know what I'm saying? And then shout out to my boy, man. Shout out to my boy, his wife. They just bought a house, you know what I'm saying? So uh yeah, told me, man. That's why I tell you, I said, never think that it's too late. I never be too frustrated, man. Cause he was telling me his frustration story. Because around that same time last year that I had my anxiety attack because I was working too hard and just doing too much, he had his, I think, like a month later, you know what I'm saying? Because he was doing the same thing. He was stressing out about, because, he's trying to provide for his wife. And he's just like, I want a house. And, you know what I'm saying? And he was getting stressed out. And he said he had like a real bad anxiety attack, you know. And so, and everybody tell you, like, bro, just calm down. God gonna provide. He gonna do it. And so he had told me a while back, he said, yeah, I'm actually in the States looking for a house, man. You know what I'm saying? And so he was telling me, he said, I don't want to go over 100,000, you know what I'm saying? And so he was like, bro, I was getting so stressed, man, looking for these houses. He said, bro, I almost start crying. He said, that's how stressful it was. Like, it's frustrating. Like, house shopping is frustrating. And so he had found one, because one of the women, his wife knew, and she actually came to church Sunday. And so I talked to her. So he was like, yeah, like, talk to her. She'll tell you some things about like getting a house and stuff. Um, but he said he had found a nice one. You know what I mean? Oh, get off me. And, like, yeah, prayed on it and stuff like that. And so I think they end up knocking it down a couple of grand or something like that. Like he actually got away with a lot of stuff that he didn't have to pay. You know what I'm saying? So all he really had to do was, I think, pay for like it's a little fixer upper, but it's actually a nice house. He's got to fix some stuff up. But all he had to really do majorly, I think, was just get like an inspection, and they was gonna cover, I think, the cost of everything else. And then they end up dropping like, I think, a grand or two, just because of some reason. And so I'm like, shoot, that's love. I said, shoot, man, that's love right there. You know what I'm saying? And so I told him, I said, hey, because I'm like, bro, I'm a handyman. I said, look, man, every time somebody move, everybody call me to move. You know what I'm saying? Help 'em move. And so he had told me, he said, yeah, bro. He said, I'm actually he's out of town, I think, all this month for work. And so his wife is still here. So he was like, yeah, man. He said, yeah, you gonna be available these days to like help her and her family like move some of the stuff. I said, yeah, bro, I got you. Yeah, I got you. So I'm helping them move a couple of weeks. But I told him, I said, yeah, y'all need help renovating the house. I said, bro, let me know. I said, this is all we know. I said, look, daddy put you to work. I said, daddy put you to work. So I know a lot about house renovation, church renovation. You know what I'm saying? But I said, you celebrate for somebody when it's their time, man. Because then when it's your time, you want them to celebrate for you too. You know what I'm saying? But he had told me, he said, look, I've been stressed, man, about a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like years ago, he said, now look what God did, man. Brought a lot of good things. You know what I mean? So that's good. I said, that's really good. You know what I'm saying? So eventually, like I said, I want to get a house, man, somewhere. So I'm just thinking about it, man. Thinking about it, but definitely a big decision. Be the biggest decision I ever did in my life. You know what I mean? Well, the biggest decision I did in my life was moving to San Antonio. But the next biggest decision would be like buying a house, man, establishing a family here. You know what I mean? That's why I said I don't care about starting no family here yet, man. I don't care about no wife. I don't care about none of that stuff right now. Like I want to have everything in order, man. So when that stuff comes, man, I ain't trying to. I'm not trying to struggle. I'm not trying to do that stuff with my wife. Like so, no, you know. Mm, it do. I ain't know the first thing about it, so that's why I was talking to the real estate woman about it. She was telling me, like, Mama knows a lot about it because Mama does real estate too. She know a lot about that too. So, I was asking her some questions about it. Just anybody that knew, and then the people I know here, they also do that too. They own property, so they was telling me about some stuff. And then a woman that sold in the home was like, "Yeah, I'll lock in with you, tell you some stuff." Um, so I don't know, man. I just been thinking a lot about it. But I said, man, that'd be great, man, to just have something that's yours. I'm like, God, I wanna own stuff that I'm putting my money to, man. Like the Bible talks about that all the time, man. Like being a slave to the lender. You know what I'm saying? You're always a slave to something that you don't own. And I'm like, pretty much what's talking about is apartments, man. It's talking about stuff that we'll never own. We paying all this money for. Like, I don't like that stuff. So I'm like, God, you gave them land to own back then, man. Give me some. You know what I'm saying? Give me something to own. So, so I've been thinking, man, I've been seeing a lot of nice properties and stuff. And I'm not envious, man. I've never been envious of somebody's stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? But just because we pray for the same thing doesn't mean we in competition or envy. It's just like God, I've been on this way for years, you know what I'm saying? Because I knew when I came here, I'm like, I don't want to rent apartments for the rest of my life. Obviously not. Like people be flexing, man. They be in, especially like Chicago, they have like real luxury condos there and they be flexing about how much it costs. I'm like, bro, I don't want no condo. I want a house. My hairstylist, man, she had a condo. She was like, bro, I sold that and got a house. She was like, I don't want that no more. Nobody wants them, bro. Everybody wants a house, dude. Paying all this money. Look at all like paying all this money, man, for stuff I don't even own. Like, I want a house, man. That's what daddy would be like. He's like, "Mom," he said, "I don't own stuff." He said, "I don't want." He said, "Missy," he would tell my mom to tell you something. He was like, "Missy, I'm tired of renting these little cracker box houses because they was like in the shape of a cracker box." He said, "We paying all this money for this." He's like, "I want a house, man. I want to own something." You know what I'm saying? So you sound like your father. Boy, if I had a nickel for every time I heard that, I have 1,500 nickels. I don't know how much 1,500 nickels is in US dollars, but daggone, I need that rent is due. So any down payment of anything helps. Anything helps. They be like, "You got our money?" "No, but I got 1,500 nickels." Like, thanks to my father. Thanks to my father, everybody said I look like him, so I got nickels. Yeah. Somebody do the math. Tell me how much 1,500 nickels is in US money, because I have no idea. But yeah, man, it'd be nice to get a house somewhere, bro. Like, but I said also, if you don't want to be stuck with a mortgage here in the United States, bro, you can get a house anywhere. So that's why I'm like, that'd be nice. So go get some food. I'm hungry. That's $75. That's all I'm worth? Dang. That's all people are telling me I'm worth. Like you sound like you look like your they be like, you look like your father, sound like your father. I'm like, so you telling me I'm only worth $75? For real? That's all? I mean, I ain't the most handsome man. I ain't the most valuable person, but man, I don't think I work more than $75. So every time somebody come over and tell me that you like your father, so you see I'm like you say I'm only worth $75. Is that what you trying to say? Is that what you trying to do to me? Man, look, I'm worth at least a good 2 grand. Like, bro, come on, I could be worth at least 2 grand. That's the lowest that my net worth would be is 2 grand. Because then I would go sell me into slavery so I can use the 2 grand to go do what I want. I would sell me. That's why y'all be like, y'all sell somebody out, bro. I would sell me for 2 grand. I would go to slavery for 2 grand. I need that money. Like, bro, I need 2 grand. You know how much money I paid to live here? And you can barely enjoy a lot of it because all your money go to bills and then other expenses and taxes. I said, well, I will be a slave for an extra 2 grand. I need it. You find me out there doing what the prisoners do, out there hitting the little building the railroads and cracking the rocks and stuff like that. I'll be out there humming my Negro spiritual shoes. Gonna go see Miss Eliza. Gonna go see her today. Gonna go see Miss Eliza. Don't go down by the river. They were like the sheriffs with the shotguns. Such beautiful Judah music. Such beautiful Hebrews. Yeah, I get them out there. Such what is this beautiful Judah sound you're doing? Like, yeah, let me tell you. Did I tell you who my father is? Like, if you let me go. Say, if you let me go. It's a boy I'd hang you for being able to read and write, but you know what? It's so beautiful what you're doing. Oh man. Listen, everywhere we go, we got that true Judah sound. Even if I get locked up, I got that true Judah sound. Be in the pen doing the keys. Daddy always said it. He said, man, he would tell me all the time. He said, boy, if you ever hit your mom, I'm gonna kill you. He said that I'm gonna go to prison. Your mama gonna run my ministry. He said, but that's all right. I'll be in jail doing ministry to them. He said they need Jesus too. He said they need Jesus too. Oh my gosh. Oh no, I'm silly, man. I don't know why y'all watch me. I don't know why you watch me. I don't have nothing to give y'all, man. You should be, it's not what I can do for you. It's what you should be able to do for me. I'm hungry though, man. I need some food. My funds are a bit low today. I gotta wait till payday. I gotta wait till Friday because you know usually that's when regular Americans get paid, but for me it's whenever. It's whenever. That's why I said I love how good God is now, boy. I mean, he always been good, but people don't know, man. Them nights, man. You it was hard, bro. Like I said, it was hard because again, I was transitioning jobs, and you know what I'm saying. 3 years ain't always been the best. They ain't been the worst, but they ain't always been like the greatest. You know what I'm saying? So you have some trials and error, man, where it's just like, we got something, but it ain't the best. You feel me? So, but now that God is bringing the best, I'm gonna let Him take care of the rest. I ain't worried about nothing. I said I get to finally relax, man. I get to focus on my life. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good stuff. Dude, I'm so hungry. I need food. Oh, sit down so I don't waste no more of my energy. I always be walking around with y'all, man. That's why I be staying so fit because I walk around with y'all talking, man, for hours. I'm tired of that. Mm. Biscuits and gravy, that sound good right now. I would love biscuits and gravy. Yes. Oh, uh, oh. Mm. So just pray to God for what you want, man. Say God to supply all your needs, man. I take that verse very literal, and you should. Where it says, if your earthly father do as much for you, man, as wicked as they are, you know what I'm saying? How much will your heavenly father do for you? Now, Daddy wasn't a wicked man, but sometimes Daddy could be stingy. Sometimes he can be stingy. There were times Daddy wouldn't give you nothing. But you know what? The stuff that he did give you was out of love. So it's like if he did it out of love, man, how much more is God gonna give you? You know what I'm saying? So I learned to be happy and appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? So, Daddy gave us a lot of stuff over the years, man. You know. So if he's willing to do that for us, how much more is God willing to do for us? You know what I'm saying? So definitely looking for and I see it too, man. I definitely see it. Like I said, I go outside, man. That's the thing that I had to go out, man, and see. Like I said, I went to men's camp about 2.5, well, about 3 months ago. And when I was out there, man, I wasn't even gonna go because, like I said, I actually got in on the grace of somebody else. Somebody else was supposed to go, but they couldn't make it, and they asked me if I wanted to go. This stuff ain't cheap either. This is like a $500, $600 ticket. So they had asked me, and I was about to turn it down, man, the day of, because I was working from home, and then I was like, nah, because I got to be in town to pay this bill, and I got to be in town for something else. And I was like, nah, man. I was like, no, man, just go. I kept saying I want to go in nature, and I said I need to get away from this, so I ended up going. You know what I'm saying? And it was good to see, man, because like I said, you got to get off your phone for a minute, no electronics for the most part. You know what I'm saying? And when I went out there, I got to see nature, man. I saw how the birds was out there just chilling. The birds wouldn't even worry about nothing, man. You should see it in the morning. In the morning, man, the birds are over there taking a bath. It's like a whole swarm of them. They over in like the pond, taking a little bath, splashing around, getting their food, picking it up, taking it back to the nest. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, bro, how the birds not worried about nothing, man? Like the birds knew they knew the water was gonna be there in the morning. They didn't care. You know what I'm saying? And here we is, we waking up every day, man. God love it more than the birds, man. We worry about where our meals and our money coming from. You know what I'm saying? And so I saw that. I was like, well, why the birds ain't worried about nothing? Then I saw how the moon was touching the trees. I was like, the moonlight is touching everything at night. It's enlightening everything. Nature ain't worried about where they can see. They not worried about where their meals coming from. So I said, why am I worried about mine? You know what I mean? And then God literally did it. You know what I'm saying? He was literally doing stuff out there at that time. You know what I'm saying? While I was speaking and praying it. So I was like, it was nice, man, to be a part of that and see that. You know. So now when I see nature, I'm like, bro, birds don't worry about their worms, man. You know what I'm saying? Stray dogs don't worry about their little meals. You know what I'm saying? Lions don't worry about where they zebras and gazelles is coming from, and the gazelle don't worry about where the water coming from. So I'm like, I shouldn't have to worry about that either. You know what I mean? So it's nice to know, man, that I'm worth more than some animals. You know what I mean? But so, uh, so yeah, man. So I said now things are good. You know, I mean things always been good, but you know they working a lot better than what they once was because it's advancing, man. Everybody has to go through their trials and everything. That's just life. You know, but you know, some good things are happening, better things are happening. So that's why I said I ain't worried about nothing, man. I'm chilling. Like, bro, I'm cool. I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying? So it feels good, man. You stressing out too much or just working too hard, you know. And I ain't gotta really gotta work it hard no more. So it is pretty nice. I'm gonna tell you, be away from you. You know. So anyways, what's up with y'all, man? I ain't gonna be here too long. But I had to come on here now because like I said, the my music live stream failed, so that's up. So can't do music for the rest of the night until I figure out what's going on with the hard drive and stuff. Yeah. Um, but it's fine because I'm like I already did one earlier today, so I'm like I don't even need to do it. Hold on. Mm, 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 mm. Well, oh y'all don't just stand there at one time. Come on, 8 people. Let's have a conversation before I get off of here. I don't need to talk to you. I'll go eat. So make a conversation. Mm. Mm. So they're gonna stare at me stupid or what? Come on, man. 5 people. Let's go. Uh, when it's the meet and greet. Don't even know. I would have to think about that in advance. But no idea. So uh I ain't even been thinking about it lately. I've been trying to situate stuff and get stuff in order for my life and myself, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Would be nice though. You know, but as of right now, I ain't even crossed my mind, honestly. I ain't even thinking about it. So I would say let's see where we at in a couple of months and then we can probably think about it. Right now, I ain't even on my mind. Mm. That's what make it. Let's say, yep. Might as well shoot. I don't know how much everybody can go to Florida. You know, people, man, they say they down and then they ain't down. So, you know, people talk. One thing I realize with it is people talk. That's why I went out of town with a lot of people, man, because everybody said they gonna go do something. You know what I'm saying? I have friends tell me they coming there, say they ain't came yet. You know what I'm saying? Jones always tell me he's on his way up already. He never does. Like he always asks me like, when you going back? He said, when you go back, let me know. He said, I'll go back with you. He never do. So I'm like, bro, I need to stop playing, man. If y'all gonna come through, man, come through. Stop all this tit for tat. Oh. Mm. And believe me, I wouldn't stay around y'all either. That's why I said, dude, I'm always everywhere, man. Every time we go to Miami, I ain't around none of them. Every time we go for a church conference, I'm not around none of them like that. I met up with my friend, man, in Miami because we had a conference in Orlando, and homies kept saying they was let's go to Miami, let's go to Miami. Dude just want to go to South Beach, man, because he wanted to see the girls. Realized that the girls didn't want him, so now he want to go back. He want to go back to Orlando after like 2 hours. I'm like, nigga, we just got here. And I said, nah, man, my people just said, but we all rode in the same car. And so my friend that told me, she said, look, we'll take you back if you stay. She was like, we'll take you back around that time or whatever. She was like, they can go ahead and go. So the homies ended up leaving. I stayed with her, you know what I'm saying? We went to go get some food. She took me to this little outdoor show. And then she took me to this little out it was also like an outdoor, like I don't know if it was like an outdoor sports bar or whatever it is. But they have like live music and stuff like that. And I had a good old time. Shoot, we was kicking it. Stayed out till like 2 in the morning. Came back. It took me all the way back to my or Orlando. Oh, it's only like 2 hours. It's like a 2 hour drive. So it wasn't like too bad. I know. That's why I said like I ain't around everybody, man. I'm just doing my thing. We trying to tell these fools. I said, look, man. I said when I want to go, man, I want to go. Like I'm trying to go sightsee and venture out and all type of stuff. Sure was. I was out all night, man, having fun, making friends, all type of stuff. Shoot. So I told you, when I get down, man, I get down. We gonna do this, man. Let's do this big. Like I ain't doing this little out till 10:30 and then we in that hotel. No, gonna be out, man. Let's be out all night. We ain't doing nothing wrong. We just out, just having fun. We gonna sightsee, man. It's a beautiful city, man. We paying all this money to come here. Why we gonna just stay in the hotel? I'm telling them, bro, I ain't staying in the hotel, man. I'm getting out. I'm gonna do this stuff. That's why I said, like here in San Antonio, it's mainly the Mexican. You go, Latino and with the Mexicans, and and in Miami, it's the Cubans. So you go party with the Cubans. You like wherever you go at, man. Wherever there's a big population, if you go around Dominicanos, you go party with the Dominicanos. Like I'm around the culture. I'm like I ain't just trying to be in a hotel, man. Hotel is not culture. You feel me? Like I want to go out do stuff. Like everybody's so boring now, man. People are so like bored. Like the most people that do is go like most they'll do is go to a restaurant. I'm like, that's good. But I didn't just travel just to taste the food, man. I traveled to see the people, is to see what they got. You feel me? Like trying to go on play all type places. Shit, I was on South Beach all day because the church they went to a different beach. They went to I think it was Cocoa Beach or something. I don't even know where that was. It was nice. It was real nice. But I said I don't want to go no Cocoa Beach. I want to go South Beach. So of course most of them are married. So of course they ain't trying to go to South Beach because again, who's there? All the women. They can't go there. I said, well, luckily for your boy and the other homies, the little homies, we ain't married. We can go with 'em. I said, Mama, let's just go to South Beach. She said, nah. She said, nah, we ain't going to South Beach. She said, y'all can go to South Beach. We ain't going there. I said, say less. And I went to South Beach. They all went over there. I went over there. Now, South Beach is a little dirtier than the other ones, you know what I'm saying? Because it's more popular. They had a lot of seaweed there. I'm like, why is there so much seaweed over here? But it was nice, you know what I'm saying? The homie, again, he's the ugly homie. What he thought he was gonna be a lady killer. I'm like, boy, they think you a killer whale that just came out the water. They ain't looking at you. And that's when we did a little banana boat raft that's tied up to the back of the jet ski. And that old white woman, she was like, she had to be in her 50s, man. The white woman got a husband and kids. Her kids was like in their early 20s, I think. And she kept saying my name. I'm like, yo, you need to stop. You need to stop. Cause I was like, oh no, we on this water. You know what I'm saying? We was making light of it, jokes of it. And I was like, I wasn't joking. I said, hey, y'all, we in the water. You know what I'm saying? We got life vests and stuff. But I said, I don't care. I said, I swore I thought I saw a blue whale under here. It was moving. I said, no, because you know Miami water green, so you can see stuff in there. So I was like, yeah, I don't know about that. And this white woman, yo, I kid you not, man, she kept calling my name. So come on, Steve. Stop being so scared, Steve. But she said Steve like every 3 minutes. I said, your white husband's gonna hang me. Like, girl, you better stop. He's already inferior. You got a nigga out here that's glistening with muscles with his shirt off. I say, yeah, he don't like that. That's his worst fear. Losing his wife to a Mandingo nigga. I was like, you better stop. Come on, Steve. It's not that bad, Steve. I was like, why you keep saying? I thought she was just making light of this. Like she was joking. But I'm like, I don't think she's joking. I think she literally like kept saying my name. And so even the homies kept saying, they said, why she keep saying your name? She ain't say none of ours. I'm like, I don't know. I said, I don't know. I said, I'm always a white woman magnet. Maybe that's why. I don't know. But so I wasn't even there for none of that because at the time, like I said, I was already talking to another white girl. I was talking to another white girl. That was my love before she was the love of my life. I said we was still kind of new to each other, so we was cool. So I was loyal. I was actually loyal. I said, look, you know what I'm saying? Like I know me, I used to be a pretty boy. So I was like, but I'm actually loyal because I said, like, I like her, you know what I'm saying? We got a little thing going on. We wasn't official, so I said I could go talk to her, right? You know what I'm saying? Not to say that I didn't see beautiful women everywhere, but I'm like, I didn't talk to her. The other homie, he was single, so he had it was a I think she was Cuban or Puerto Rican. She was a lifeguard over there. She was bad too. And he just started talking to her and then started making conversation. Got the number. I got the number. He was over making conversation, making a laugh or something. He turned and looked at us and said, "Hey, don't look." I said, "Bro, don't look at us. Handle your biz, man. Handle your biz, good." So the other dude asked him, he said, "Bro, how you do that?" He said, "Bro," he said, "You gotta talk. He's a smooth talker. You gotta learn how to talk. It's not hard, man. Just talk." I'm trying to tell this older white woman. I said, "Girl, I already got a young white woman. I don't need you. I need you. Whenever the old young white woman leave, I'm gonna go to you so you can buy my PS5. I'm like, I need an old woman and in my heart." I said, "Girl, I ain't into you right now. I got somebody young." Mm. She kept saying the nigga name. I was like, "Bro, you gonna get your man mad at me, man. Don't do that." I said, "Girl, believe me, I didn't come to Miami for old white women. I could have stayed in Kentucky for all that." Girl, all the Cubans out here. Girl, please. I think I just came shopping with mom and them. Or was that Atlanta? I think it was Atlanta. Whichever. No, I was in Miami because we went shopping at that mall. I think it was Dolphin Mall. Dolphin Mall is a big mall there. Big mall. Mama was going with all the women with like three of her friends, three of the ladies. And so I told her, I said, "Well, you ain't going by yourself." I said, "No," because I think the homies went somewhere. I think Jordan went somewhere else too. And I said, "Well, I'll go with you, mama." So I'm trying to go shopping too. And I said, "Well, I'm the bodyguard." You know what I'm saying? We all had our piece on us. So I was like, I said, I'll be the bodyguard, make sure ain't nobody run up on y'all. But y'all gotta understand, man, mama ain't no ugly woman. So mama, she get hit on all the time. You know what I'm saying? Thirsty niggas. And then the other women around her are not necessarily ugly women either. So of course it's like full, threefold single women in there walking around. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want no dudes walking up on them. You know what I'm saying? I know how niggas do. So I said, "Don't worry, I'll come with y'all so they ain't bothering y'all." You know what I'm saying? Then I came over and then I came with it. And the Cuban fragrance one almost got me. Both of them. Almost got your boy. I said, "Look, it's something about a Cuban. I don't know. Man. They all cool with it." You can definitely tell. That's why you can tell either who Dominican or who Cuban. It is so easy to tell. They look the same. Cubans look just like more light skinned Dominicans. Like they look more like at least to me. But considering the fact that Miami is like 90% Cuban, it's not hard to think that everybody made them Cuban. I said she definitely Cuban, boy. Girl had the accent and everything, boy. Had the accent, the build, the frame, the physique. I said, "Yep, she Cuban. Definitely Cuban." I wasn't even trying to buy nothing, but I was just in there with mom because they went in there. Mom, you know how black women were. Black women be funny because like they love a good deal. And mama's people around her just like her. So they all love a good deal. And so she was talking them into a good deal. And mama and them, she like, "Girl, look." So her friend like, "Girl, look, let me tell you something." So let me tell you something, girl. You about to make a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? So she and her mama and them fun. They making people laugh. Bro. And so I'm just in the background. I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Then I started looking at the stuff that I want. I was like, I don't want nothing. And then she came to me. She said, "How about you, love? You want something?" I said, "No, girl, I don't want nothing." And I said, "Well, let me just smell that one over here." That's how they get you. That's how they get you too, boy. I said, "Yeah, baby girl, let me smell that one over here." She said, "No, no, no, no. You don't want this one." She told me, she said, "No, no, no. The toilet is like the spray." She said, "You want the one with the oil." She said, "No, no, no. You don't want this one. You want this one." I said, "Well, tell the nigga what he really want." I said, "Girl, tell me how you really feel." She said, "Give me your hand." She said, "Here, I'll spray it for you." Took my hand. I said, I was in love. I said, "Girl, don't do that. Don't do that. It's gonna be wiped up in here." I said, "I know why they put these pretty women behind these stands. That's how they get their girls. That's how they get you." It don't really work with me, but I know it worked with a lot of other dudes. One girl tried that in the Orlando mall. She was I thought she said she was Jewish or whatever. But like all people that come from like Israel, they not necessarily like white with blue eyes and blue and blonde hair. Like some of them look like Palestinian. Like they look kind of like tannish or whatever. She was beautiful. I ain't gonna lie, she was beautiful. But I was like, just because you try to sucker a nigga up, I was like, she was trying to sell me like a it was something I already had. It was something that it was like a face cleanser or something, or it was like some type of I can't remember what it was. But it was like I think I already had it. So I was like, I already have this product. Somebody had just sold it to me like I think the year before. I like earlier that year. I still got it and don't even use it. And so she was like, "No," she was like, "No, this is different. This is different." And I said, "Girl, I don't need this." And she was doing, bro, she was doing all that stuff, trying to do the little puckered up look and the pretty ass, cause she did have some. She was beautiful. I ain't gonna lie, she was very beautiful. And she said, "Where you from?" I told her. She said, "I'm from Israel." Or whatever. I said, "Okay, cool, you cute." You know what I'm saying? But I was like, "It still ain't gonna make me buy nothing. I'm still gonna say no." And she was like, "Oh well, we'll just get." She said, and I told her, I said, "I already bought it." And then she was like, "Well, you didn't buy it from me." I said, "Yeah, that's the point. I already bought it from somebody else. Hey, you ain't gonna make me buy it again, stupid. Like I don't want it." You see what I'm saying? They don't understand how to take no. I get that's your job, but like, nah, man. I said no. I already have it, girl. You being pretty, it's not because again, she's used to other simp dudes that just say, yeah. I'm like, no, I don't care because you're pretty. I'm still say no. I don't want it. And so she was just like, "Ugh, fine then. She's like, fine, don't make me a sale. Like, they try to use that old manipulation stuff to make you feel bad. I said, okay. I left out the store. I said, you don't make a nigga buy nothing. Like, girl, please. Ain't like you gonna take me on a date if I do. Girl, please, I don't need this. Ain't nothing I can't take some good old Ajax and put on my face and go scrub it. Like, ain't no different than dishwashing liquid. Like, I don't know how many times I got to tell you, I already got it. I don't even need the product, bro. I already have it. That I don't even use it. I was definitely trying to sell you something. I said you can't use your looks on everything. Every man ain't like it. That don't work with me. I like my money. I love my money more than you. So there's a reason why the rapper name is Moneybag Yo, not Moneybag Ho, because he loves his money more than his women. More than his women. Hmm. That's what Ajax can't do. Boy, y'all don't know about the struggle. We didn't always have average spring growing up, y'all. Sometimes we had to use Ajax, a dishwashing liquid, to scrub ourselves. Y'all know about that type of struggle. Y'all used to this modern day era, man. Like we ain't have no Dove Men Plus care. We ain't have none of that. We had Ajax. Where we had Dow soap. Dow soap, nigga, hand soap. Sometimes we didn't always take baths. We had to wash up. If you know anything, you black. If you ain't don't know what wash up is, you ain't black. You don't know what that is. Like we had to exaggerate to make it work. You know what I'm saying? We didn't always have hot water. We had to boil our water on the stove. Y'all think I'm joking? We had beer before. I kept being like, why we always got to boil our water? It's like, cause I said so. Shut up. And I said, didn't realize the bills was due. Yeah, see, look at my bills now. I'm like, boy, I'm about to boil every single thing. I'm about to heat this water over my breath. Just 12 hours for some hot bath water, boy. I'm winded. I ain't got no more wind in me, but you know what? Still get fresh. It don't matter. Yeah, we as in all black people pretty much did that. White people don't know about that. They don't know what that struggle is. They're like, you can't just like turn on the hot water faucet. I can't like just turn on the hot water faucet. Mom and daddy said they'll beat me if I do. So mom and daddy said they'll hurt me if I do. So you don't know about the struggle, man. Cause like I said, you ain't one of us. Y'all always have functioning working water. We didn't. So it was different for us. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said coming from the struggle. So now, you know what I'm saying? That's why I said living in a luxury area. I said, oh, the water faucets work, the heat works. You know what I'm saying? Like you amazed that things actually work because where we was from, never the stuff that didn't work. We had to improvise and make it work. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said I didn't mind paying quality money at the time, man, to live somewhere nice because I'm like, it's nice to have everything that's working. But now I'm like, bro, I'm tired of paying quality money for stupid stuff. I'm tired of this, man. One of the nicest areas in the city, I don't even want it no more. I'm just tired of it. You know, so that's why I try to tell you, see how women is just because they're a woman, they think they can just sweet talk to you. That don't work with me, dude. That does not work with me. I've had so many failed relationship attempts that women try to do because they thought that was gonna work. It does not work on me like that. I don't like you like that. Like one woman that sold me that same product, the one that sold it to me before, because I said well, it was a pretty good product, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, actually, I'll take it. Because I think I was trying to deep cleanse myself. So I was like, it was only like $30 or whatever. So I was like, it's cheap. But my boy was with him. He was with us. And another woman, because she thought because we was in Dallas. So she thought cause she was fine, she was gonna sweet talk him. And he's not a sucker either. He don't play that. And she kept trying to sweet talk him. He was like, no. He's like, no, I'm good. I don't want it. And so he ended up leaving the store and she came to me. She was like, she had came to me while the old girl was selling it to me. She said, hey, your friend is lame. I said, why? Say it like he can't buy nothing. I said, why are you gonna force him to buy stuff? I said, bro, he don't. I'm like, just because you're pretty, he's not gonna give into that. So I went and talked to him about it. He said, "Bro, she thought because she was pretty, I was gonna buy it." I said, "I know that's how they be. You see how they be like, now y'all lame, y'all gay, y'all broke. It's always an insult to us. Like, no, you just not good at your game. Maybe you ain't good enough. Maybe another saleswoman can sell better to us. You can't. You suck at it." I said, "Girl, you a fine light skin, but they don't mean nothing. I'ma still say no. Like, I can still say no. It don't matter. I prefer dark skins. Like, I prefer Africans. Like, nigga, oh, it's word, man." So, girl, you ain't selling me nothing just because you know a woman. Later, so. Maybe like I said, you'll stop trying to manipulate everybody, man, when it comes to I get you trying to sell a product, everybody gotta hype it up and sales game is kind of manipulation, I ain't gonna lie. Because they told us that too when we was like doing our sales. They was like, they said it can be kind of like you have to kind of sucker people in. But some of that is not bad, but like some of because you selling something, so you of course you gotta make it catchy. But some of that stuff is like it is manipulation, dude. They had told us, they said they was like they told us to pretty much lie when we would work with people and say, "Hey, I'm only $200 away from hitting the goal." You know what I'm saying? And we was nowhere near $200 away. I'm like, dude, they was like, even if you hit the goal, they was like, just still tell people you $200 away. And I said, so we pretty much lying. You know what I'm saying? We pretty much lying, man. We working witchcraft out here trying to make money. That's why I was like, I can't work for y'all no more. Because first off, that's just kind of wrong. And then I'm like, second of all, y'all niggas are stingy because then they want to try to pay us the money that we just made them. So I'm lying for y'all, and I ain't even making extra money. I said, how about I go do an honest living and make all the money that's mine and not have to worry about getting a pay cut and like being the middleman for y'all. And I ain't got to lie to make my money. You know what I'm saying? And it's something that I love doing. I didn't really like doing what we was doing at the time. So that's why I said when I see people now trying to come to me, I said, you can't trick me. I bamboozle me. I know the game, dude. I worked in sales, man. I worked around people like that. I've been around niggas my whole life. I know how stuff goes. You can't lie to me, man. You can't trick me. I know how stuff goes, man. Spiritual weirdos are the same people that do a sales pitch, man. It's the same thing. It's the same sales pitch from everywhere you go. Like it's the same thing, dude. Mm. No, sometimes women think they can take stuff to another level, yeah. So women, I'm like, girl, please. Again, women ask you 3 different times on 3 different occasions if you want a relationship. No, nigga, I don't want you. The same girl, man. That same girl that asked me 3 different times, bro. She asked me 3 different times within a couple of years. Like, I was wondering if you want to be a thing. No, I don't want to. And then she had came because she had knew who he was. Like I think she kind of knew who he was a little bit. And so she was like, yeah, she actually worked. I think she said she worked with somebody that went to our church at one point. And so she was like, yeah, do you know this guy? Because his name was Steve too. She was like, do you know this guy? I was like, I knew him. I was like, he was cool at first. I said, why? She was like, well, yeah, he was saying something about y'all marriage, like something negative. I said, yeah, I said, yeah, did old buddy tell you he married a prostitute? Did he tell you that? No, he didn't tell you that. He didn't tell you that, did he? He didn't tell you how he was all shucking and jiving underneath daddy word. He didn't tell you that. I said he got mad about something. Want to go talk that dirt. Dude married a prostitute off the street. I know he ain't trying to talk. I said, did he tell you that? No, he didn't. Okay, yeah, I knew he didn't tell you that part. He didn't tell you that part. That's why I'm trying to tell niggas like, don't try to come for us. I can air your dirty laundry. I know all y'all niggas, man. Y'all be weird. That's why I tell you, y'all point out anybody on that camera that y'all see on the camera when y'all watch the videos. I can tell you any and everybody who it is. I know all of them, all of them. And I can tell you, yep, that brother was the one that he had to keep getting on. That sister was the one over there trying to get in somebody else's man. Like I know all of them. Dude. Who gonna know better than me? I was there. Like, bro, y'all audience now is good people. The audience that was sitting under there at the time was not good people. So that's why I told her girl, I said, nah, man, you know it's too much. You know it's too much. 3 different times. Well, I think I like it. No, I was like, no. Like I think she knew I was with somebody, man, because I kept posting the girl I was with at the time. I kept posting her. And then she had tried that. I was like, no. No. And then it's like they let the heat die down, then they come back. Well, I was thinking that I like you. And they say like the same sales pitch. I'm like, you do know you pitched this idea like 3 different times, right? You do know you said this 3 times already. And then she said, "Oh, well, maybe next time, bro." She was not quitting, bro. It's been a while since she said anything. I wouldn't be surprised she tried to come recently again. Like, bro, they just don't stop. I said, no means no, man. Church drama be the worst. I'd rather watch all my wife and kids, or not my wife and kids, but all my children. I was like, I'd rather watch some type of shows, man. If I sit here and look at church drama, that is like the dumbest thing. I would personally tell people, don't come talk to me about church drama. I don't want to talk about this. Like I remember like people would come and talk about like, oh, you know what such and such did over here, such and such did in church. I don't care. Like I don't them niggas are losers. I don't know them. I told Joe, I said, Joe, these people are grown, man. They can go do whatever they want. I said, Joe, don't even have to come here. We had to come here. I said, you don't even have to come here. You choose to, and you still got attitude, and you mad about something like, well, dude, y'all dudes are freaking losers. Like, and I told Joe, I said, Joe, let's live for something so we don't end up like them. Bro, I was so serious. I said, I don't wanna end up like them. Like, not all of them, but I like some of them. I was like, I don't wanna end up like them. Like, that's what you do with your life, man. Crazy.
I'm gonna get you. I'm not gonna get you. I'm not gonna get you.
I don't think church drama stuff is just mad weird. Stupid weird. That's all for people who don't have a life, honestly. So that's why I said, like, when you ain't got a life, man, you do stuff like that. Imagine church dating drama. Oh my God, man, that's not even attractive. That cannot be attractive. Because then you got to call. Because then, like I said, people take stuff technical, man. So a lot of churches they'll call you by your name, like brothers such and such, or sisters such and such. You know what I'm saying? Which is a sign of respect. I do think some of that is. But imagine you trying to court somebody there, and you got to call her sister such. Like, no, nigga, I don't think about you being my sister, nigga. No. If I'm gonna have to marry you one day, the last thing I want to call you is something with a sister. Like, no, man. Like, that's why I tell dudes, man, when they be talking about they call black girls, they call them sisters. Like, yeah, go date a sister. I said, no, I don't call black women sisters, man, because I got black sisters, man. That make me sound like I'm dating one of my sisters, nigga. No. They talking about call your woman your old lady or your mama. No, I got a black mama. I don't want to think about my mama when I'm with my woman, nigga. That's weird. Why can't I just call her, hey, my baby, my boo? Well, not my boo. I hate that too. But I said, but why can't I just call her, hey, that's such and such, man. That's Shaquita, man. That's Shaquita for me. You feel me? That's my Shanae. That's my Beyonce. Like, bro, why they call it that? Why I gotta call her like something that's related to me? Next thing niggas gonna be calling their woman their auntie, man. Calling them a relative or something. Gonna be calling them godmother. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't trying to call her nothing that's related to me, man. Like, come on. Like, bro, I just want to call my woman whatever she is, man. That's why I said I ain't want to date nobody at church, man. Because I'm like, I ain't want to think of him referring to him as sister and we courting each other. Like, nah, man. Because you know how there's some friends are strictly friends. They strictly friends to the point where they will never date each other. Like they couldn't be some best friends can do that because they got a good connection. But some people are like strictly friends to where like it would make everything weird. It's like, nah, you like a brother or sister to me. You know what I'm saying? Some people I really like, and I'm just like, I would never be able to talk to you. I date you because I'm like, I don't know. One of my friends, me and her like it. You know what I'm saying? Like we so cool. We don't see each other in that type of light. You know what I'm saying? So we just like, oh yeah, I definitely couldn't see us dating. I'm like, we couldn't. You know what I'm saying? Like if we did, I think we'd be cool. But I'm just like, but we just too cool. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to ruin that friendship. We too cool, man. I ain't trying to mess it up. Because I told her one time. Because one of the reasons I found out why though, because I never shot my advance. I know we was always close and stuff. But we would talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And then one day, man, she had one of the dudes that her friend was talking to was over, and he had just met me, and she was like, and so she was talking about like how it was harder in the dating game. And so he had told her, he was like, well, why don't you? I think he was high. I don't know. I was something wrong. I think he was on that liquor or something. He said, why don't you just date dude over here, man? He a good dude. He was talking about me. He said, he a good dude. I don't even know him. He a good dude. You know what I'm saying? And so she was like, no, we friends. He said, so what they got to do with anything? What they got to do? He kept pressing about it. And I said, bro, it's cool. Like, nah, man, we just friends. He said, nah, man, you a good dude. He said, why don't you like a dude? And she was like, nah. And she was like, he deserved better than me. He was like, I'm not worth it. And I was like, what? I said, hold on. I said, hold on, don't say that. I said, hold on, what? And so I took her outside, you know what I'm saying? Like when I was about to leave, I was over her house. I took her, I said, let me talk to you real quick. And I said, what you mean by that? You know what I'm saying? And she had told me, she was like, nah, like you deserve somebody better than me. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, the way you are, she was like, you don't smoke. You don't drink. I said, what does smoking and drink got to do with anything, dude? She said, well, now you don't smoke, you don't drink. She was like, you actually feel like you have life goals and, the way that you are, you're a real nice guy. She was like, I don't want to taint you with me. Like basically she was saying like she felt like she was just not good enough. Like she was too far gone. I was like, no, you're not. I said, just cause you smoke a joint, I don't care about that, man. Cause I know niggas that be in church all day trying to be deep in the down, don't smoke no joints. I don't like them more than y'all. Like, bro, them people be the worst. She didn't know what I dealt with before. I'm like, girl, look, I know people that's way worse than that. You smoking a joint ain't got nothing to do with nothing. You know what I'm saying? I told her, I said, look, I understand me and you are friends and we may not see each other like it, but I said, but don't see it in that light to where you thinking about that. I said, I'm not judging because of that. We just more friends than that. But I said, don't ever think that because you smoke a joint that you ain't worthy of me. I'm like, I ain't worth nothing either. So I'm like, don't think that I'm all that. I ain't all that good. Look, uh, I was the girls would call the guys their brother, and actually one of them. Oh no, that's weird. I don't like that stuff. That's why I said black community, man, we gotta do some investigating because that stuff be like some incest type stuff. That stuff be weird. Man. Stuff be man weird, but mm. So yeah, I would tell one all the time. I'm like, I'm like, bro, why is that like the 12th woman I've heard say that? They was like, oh, you deserve better. I'm like, bro, no, I don't. You don't know the things I've done, the bodies I've caught before. You don't know the charges I've had on my record. Don't act like I deserve better. And then I always hit it with that line, but you are better. You are the better. See, I'm a smooth criminal. The way I talk, I'm a smooth criminal. She probably was involved with someone when she said that still doesn't mean no, what even that. It's just people, man, they be traumatized. That's why I said she was traumatized because she been through a lot of stuff in life. You know what I'm saying? That's why, again, that's why people be smoking weed, dude. It's not because people just like to smoke weed. A lot of them smoking, man, because they traumatized, bro. Like, when you talk to them and you understand why, man, you know what I'm saying? As I said, it's hard. I don't want to say it's hard, but it's very common now to see a lot of women that's been assaulted, man. You know what I'm saying? She's been assaulted before. She's been abused. So already they self-worth is already low. They already feel like they ain't worth a good dag on nothing. You know what I'm saying? And so she felt like that with me, you know what I'm saying? And so she was just like, no, she was like, of course I don't see you like that. She was like, but I just, if I did, she said, I felt like that you would just be too good. I'm like, why? Ain't no such thing as nobody too good. Like, girl, please. I said, you know how I like my woman, like damaged. I love my woman damaged. Cause I knew there was a reason why. Cause I said, bro, they are so easier to deal with than girls that be in church. They are so easy to deal with than girls that got two-parent households. They be the stupidest people of all time. I'm telling you, dude. I've not met a woman dumber than a girl that's from a two-parent household. They be the dumbest. You think the ones that be on drugs the most is the ones come from broken homes. The ones that do cocaine all the time is the girls that come from two-parent households. Cause they ain't had to do nothing. Like they don't know nothing. They be slow. That's why I say I like people, man, that have like life experience, nigga. They be mature. They don't be with all that. You know what I'm saying? Like two-parent household girls ain't never had to really fight for nothing. They never had to do nothing their whole life. So they already thinking that somebody owe them something. You know what I mean? So and not all of them. I'm not saying all of them, but I'm just saying the ones I've noticed, the ones I've seen. You know what I'm saying? The ones that came from single households, I didn't have nobody at all. Those are the ones that's more mature. I like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't like the fact they had to go through it, but I like the fact that they know more of like what they want and they more mature. You know what I'm saying? That's very attractive. So, but I told her, I said, look, don't think that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and she thought because she did, you know, it wasn't just like the weed stuff. I just think it was stuff that she probably been through in life and stuff that she's done in life. You know what I'm saying? She was like, "No, I don't wanna, like, taint him." I said, "What? Why y'all talk to me like y'all some altar boy? Like, nigga, I'm me." I don't know why people thinking, man, like, you ain't with it. Like, what? You just don't know it because I ain't never told you. I said, "I'll show you the me that I want you to see. You don't see the me behind closed doors. You don't see the me that's ready to go hurt somebody. You don't see that. People just see the nice you and think that you like at 24/7. No, man, I don't like a lot of people. I said, I'd be forgiven because we have to be forgiven. But if I wasn't, boy, if the purge was real, I got a list. Bro, I got a list of people. I said, I have to forgive because if the purge ever become real, then people ain't gonna be around. So I'm like, I had to forgive you. Damn, this can cause women to be mentally now. And she definitely was. So even when I would come around, that's why I said, like, you remember I told you people be struggling, man, but they very prideful because they don't want people to see them as less than and stuff. And her being a natural hustler, that's just how she was. That's always how she was. And so I came over at her house one time. I was like, what's going on? I said, what's happening? You know what I'm saying? And so we went to the store and she's like, okay, I gotta make sure I stretch my money. She said, because I'm a little late on the bills and stuff. And I told her, I said, well, let me help y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, not because I know they be thinking, and I don't think she thought that was me because she knew I wasn't like it. You know what I'm saying? But when people offer to do stuff, dudes be thinking they're gonna get some in return. You know what I'm saying? And so they so used to that. So of course I was like, nah. I'm like, nah. And I told her, I said, look, it ain't like that. I've never done that. I don't think you owe me nothing. I don't owe you nothing. We don't do that. I've never done that. Never will. I think it's so stupid. She like, nah. She was like, I'm just used to doing everything on my own. And I said, yeah, but sometimes you need a helping hand. I said, bro, I've had to have a helping hand before. You know what I'm saying? And she's like, no. She said, no. In the discussion, I'm not taking it. I was like, whatever. So I was like, all right, yeah, take your stuff, whatever. So we was at the store. And so I came to go getting some food. You know what I'm saying? I almost had to fight her to pay for her stuff, y'all. Like she would not let me pay for the supplies that she needed. I was like, bro, I got some extra money. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I came to the food and I was like, well, I'm about to go get something to eat and stuff. And I said, all right, well, I said, look, let's go get some lunch because I'm like, we hungry, right? She said, no, no, she said, no, I'm not taking it. I said, look, I told her, I said, look, no, I said, no, no, you are getting lunch. We start laughing. I said, no, you get lunch. I said, no, there is no ifs, ands, or buts. You getting lunch. Stop playing. I'm like, learn to let somebody do something for you, man. You know what I'm saying? That's just the stuff that we would do, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to make sure that, because I take care of my people, man. She one of my people. She's still one of my people. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my I love her, man. That's Katie. That's my Puerto Rican and Irish friend. She's so cool, bro. She is so cool. Oh, you know how many times I go back to Louisville, I run into her like every now and then somewhere, and she's like, "No way!" Like she's so happy. She's such a hype person, bro. I love her. Uh, but but yeah, even when went to go get food, she told me like a lot of stuff that like had happened to her, like stuff that was going on with her. And so one day, I think somebody had like stole her car, man. I think shortly after that, somebody stole her car. Some jealous girl. I be trying to tell y'all about these girls, man. Like girls be terrible friends with each other sometimes. But some jealous girl had like took her car, because she was mad at her for something. Took her car and ran it into a tree. Like pretty much gave her car damage. You know what I'm saying? She couldn't really prove, I think, that the girl had did it. So she didn't really have I think her car had like got totaled and stuff. And she said, dude, I love that car. It was my favorite car. You know what I'm saying? And so for a while she was, kind of carless, you know what I'm saying? So of course, as I said, I always had at that time, this is when I still lived in Louisville. So at that time, I ain't had like no major bills, you know what I'm saying? And I was about to come to San Antonio, I think like in another year or so. So I had money, I had all type of money still like saved up, stored up, you feel me? So I think I ended up giving her like $100. It was either $100 or $200 Uber card, you know what I'm saying? Just so she can get around, you know what I'm saying? Because at that time I had to take money. I was like, "Well, I just didn't care." Like that's how I was, man. I look out for my people. That's just how I was, man. You know what I'm saying? Ask all the homies, man. All the homies will tell you I always look out for the homies, man. I look everybody eats around me, everybody live around me, you know what I'm saying? Um, and I'm giving her like a little Uber car for I think $100, $200, you know what I'm saying? And she was just so happy, man. She was so great, but she's like, no, that's just so nice. And I said, yeah, I want you to get around because I know you guys can get back and forth to work till you get your another car, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how I am. That's why I said, see, if you get good connection with me, man, I take care of you, man. I love my people. Bro, I be trying to tell y'all, man. That's why I tell you, man, I love my black people, man. I love my Puerto Rican and Irish people. Like, bro, I love my people. Like, bro, when you with me, man, like I love my peoples, dude. You feel me? And I said one of the homies hit me up and was like, "Hey man, I'm kind of going through it. I made sure I looked out for them." Like, bro, I look out for my people, bro. I'm a people person. So as much as I don't like to be, you know what I'm saying? But when it comes to and that's why I say even what I'm doing now, man, with like building this career and building the finances and stuff, I'm like, it's not just for me, man. All this money just ain't for me. You know what I'm saying? It's to help people out. And I say, God, build this to us a big organization so that it can help a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to do a lot of charity funds and stuff, you know what I'm saying? But it's gonna take a lot of work, man, and finances and connections and networking and stuff. Mhm. But that's the type of stuff I would do, man. You know what I'm saying? Even a girl that tried to scam me out of some rent money, one of my former Costa Rican friends. You feel me? The thing was, I didn't care about the money. I told you I was making crazy money at the time, bro. Nigga had bang. I did not care. And she was like, "Well, can you spot me $400 to pay my rent?" I was like 200. I think it was like, "Can you spot me $200 to pay my rent? I'll pay you back." Bro, I didn't even care if she paid me back or not. I didn't care about the money. That's what she didn't understand, man. She was trying to be slick. I'm like, "Bro, I didn't care about the money, dude. You feel me?" I said, "I ought to let you have it." It was only 200 because at that time $200 was no money, man. I was making bank. You know, I was like, I didn't care. So she was like, "Well, can you spend me $200 so I can pay my rent?" Because she had to pay her rent. So I was like, "All right, I'm cool. Whatever." You know what I'm saying? I got you. You know what I mean? And so I gave her $200. You know what I'm saying? And then like the next month, she was like, "Well, I'm a little late again. Do you mind sparing it?" Yeah, I got you. I don't care. It was only $400. I did not care about no $400. I'm worth more than $400. I said, "But when you lying, talking about you gonna pay it back," I'm like, if you couldn't have paid it back, I would have let you have it. I didn't care about it, man. I want to be a blessing to people. But it's always a stingy nigga, man, that mess up their blessing. You see what I'm saying? Try to be slick. And then I found out she did the same thing to she owed I met a friend through her. His name is Steven too. I met him through her. And he had hit me up and was like, "Yeah, man, she did the same thing to me, man. Like, I think she did need bill money, but I think she was also just she didn't want to pay nobody back after she used it. You know what I'm saying?" And so he was like, "Yeah, man, she took money from me and my mama. You know what I'm saying?" And so I told him, I said, "Hey, bro, I said, hey, I'm in Costa Rica, cuz." I said, "Hey," I said, "Cause he's kind of an enforcer. He will fight anybody with his mama." I said, "Hey, bro." I said, "Hey, man, what you want to do, bro?" I said, "Hey, bro, I mean, we know where she is." I said, "Bro, she about a 25-minute drive from where I'm staying at right now." I said, "Hey, bro, what you want to do?" Cause I told him, I said, "Bro, we can go get our money." I said, "Bro, we can go get our money." Yo, bro, we can go get our money. That's what I told him. Cause I said, "Yo, I don't play about that." Cause I said, "Oh yeah, nigga want to leave us on red." They like she want. "Oh yeah, okay, yeah, we coming." I said, "Yeah," but she didn't know I was on my way to Costa Rica. Cause Stacey was getting married over there back in 2021. So she got married. That's why we went over. And I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna come and see you." I said, "I'm gonna come and see you." And then I said, "Bro," I said, "Steve, leave it alone. It's just $400. It ain't no big major money. This ain't no Bernie Madoff type money." I said, "Just leave it alone. It ain't that big." And I said, "You know what?" I said, "That's all she worth, $400." Yeah, that's all she was worth. And so I said, "You go ahead and take your little you want to scam people out their money." What she didn't realize, like I said, I would have had ultimate debt forgiveness. I don't care, man. I'm like that, bro. If you owe me a lot of money, like say if I lent you 2 grand, or like let's just say let's just say I'm rich, you know what I'm saying? Soon to be, you know what I'm saying? And you needed like a $6,000 loan, you know what I'm saying? You needed some emergency like emergency money for something. And then I saw you was trying to pay it off and you was struggling. Do you know what I would do, y'all? If I seen it to where it was a point where I'm like, look, I'm already rich. I got a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? They doing at least they showing me a commitment that they serious. I'll be like, all right, just give me another 500. That's it. Like I will forgive your debt. I don't like, bro. I'm not stuck up with no money. That's what y'all don't understand, bro. I'm not. There are times, man. People like, hey, man, can you lend me 25 bucks? You know what I'm saying? You know, like, hey, I need, can you give me 25 bucks for some gas? Or I just need an Uber to get home from work. You know what I'm saying? And then I give it to him. Like, oh, I'm gonna give it back. I said, bro, it's all right, keep it, cause it's $25. Like, nigga, a nigga ain't stingy on no $25. You know what I'm saying? I said, I'm like, bro, God been blessing me every day. I said, I think I'm worth more than $25. I don't care about the small numbers, dude. And I know if people are struggling, I'm just like, bro, sometimes you gotta learn to just let them have it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the US government, man. Penny pinching every nigga, man. I don't do that stuff. So I'm not stuck up on no money because I said whatever I give you guys is gonna provide me 2 times over, 10 times over. So he keep giving me stuff. So I ain't worried about it. So I was like, "What you trying to get over on me? Like, you don't have to get over on me. I would have just gave it to you. You know what I'm saying? I literally would have just gave it to you." Oh, girl thought she could be slick. I'm like, dude, $400? Like, I literally would have gave that to you. I done help people out with more. I'm like, bro, I don't. That's just how I am. One of my best friends, man. Shout out to her. She just got married, man. Shout out to her, man. I'm proud of her. I've been knowing her for 10 plus years. She good, man. But before all of that, man, like I said, I met her for the. I've been knowing her for years, but I met her. She used to live up in DC. That's the one I went to go see in Panama City with the baby. She used to live up in DC. So when we had a conference in Baltimore, we rode up to DC to go see her. You know what I'm saying? That was my first time seeing her. She cool. You know what I'm saying? But I remember, man, she was again, people be having hard times because she was always on her own. That's what I'm saying. Like they always be on their own. So of course they don't have the best, times. And so I remember when she had told me, you know what I'm saying? And um I think before that, she was just like, "Hey, do you mind, like, she's like, I'm kind of struggling on my rent. I'm trying to pay the bills." And again, at that time, I had consistent money. Like, bro, all I had was money. You know what I'm saying? I was a young. That's why I said I was stupid because I didn't know nothing at the time. So all I was doing was just stacking my bread and just going out having fun. I wasn't thinking about investing in property. I didn't know nothing. I was stupid. So I was like, well, I'm rich. I got a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? And so I was like, yeah, I got you. You know what I'm saying? She's like, well, I'm just trying to pay my rent. I gave her rent money. I'm like, I don't care. Like, whatever. And she was like, "Oh, no, so much. Oh, thank you so much. That's so nice." I'm like, "Okay, cool." Because I'm used to doing this. I'm like, "All right. I mean, yeah, you're welcome." She's like, "Oh, I'll pay you back." And I said, Don't worry about it. Like, I'm not worried about it because God gonna keep giving me more money. Like, God's just gonna keep giving me more, dude. You know what I'm saying? I said, "Oh, don't worry about you paying it back." You feel me? And then even when I went to go see her, man, you know what I'm saying? I went to go see her. And I think she was doing somewhat better, you know what I'm saying? But I said, but I'm always a blessing, man. Like I said, because I went to go see it the first time, but then I had to go back. And so I went um, back to DC, I think like about 2 hours later. And me and her just like hung out pretty much all night. You know what I'm saying? She took me like some places over there. And so I'm just like, I know people, she was doing somewhat better, but I said, but I want to make sure that you're doing better because you're good people, you know what I'm saying? And I gave her a little bit more money. I said, hey, like, I want to make sure that you cool, you know what I'm saying? She's like, "No, you don't have to do that." I said, "No, I want to, man, because again, I like to make sure people have more than enough, man. I want to look out for my people, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm always like, if I'm ever in that situation, I won't, I would love for somebody to do the same thing for me. And when I was in that situation before, and then all of that good stuff started happening, I said it was because all the stuff that I was doing was paying off, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, we all been there before when the rent was short, you know what I'm saying? Or when we was like, we might have been short a couple of dollars, you know what I'm saying? Hey, we don't get paid till next Friday or next month, you know what I'm saying? We all been there, you know what I'm saying? We all needed some grace. And so when I got shown grace when it was me, God was showing me that because of the stuff that I did for somebody else during that time, you know what I'm saying? Had I been stingy and penny pinching, nobody would help me, you know what I'm saying? And so that's why I said, I'm like, God, I want to start an organization where I can just help people all day, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm buying all this food and investing my money in some stuff, man. Because again, I wanna do a lot, man. You know what I'm saying, to people that need it. You know what I'm saying? I can't stand how people are just out here struggling and nobody cares, you know what I'm saying? And everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like they were showing, and again, nobody's old nothing, but I just think it's crazy, man, how people go out here and get all this money and they don't even give back to the community. And so they had showed a picture, man, where it was, I think uh, um, it was a bunch of black celebrities, man. They said there's $1 billion worth of people in this picture. And they said, why have they not done a lot of organizations giving back to the people? And I said, it is kind of true. I said, some of them haven't, you know what I'm saying? And even though that's their money, they don't have to. But I said, but at the same time, it's like, wouldn't you want to? You know what I'm saying? Like, you came from poverty, you came from nothing. Wouldn't you want to help people that come from poverty and come from nothing? You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. That just couldn't be me. You know what I'm saying? I was like, and I told God, I said, God, you know what I do with the little that I have. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see what I do with 5 extra bucks I got. You know what I'm saying? I can give it to somebody who needs it. You know what I mean? Spot the homie some money, man. Like, give somebody gas money. You know what I'm saying? Give somebody a ride. Like, God, you see what I do? Like, so think about what I could do with a lot more that you give me. You know what I'm saying? And I said, honestly, man, it feels good to donate big, man. It feels good to, you know what I'm saying? You get your tithes and offering, you can get big money. You know what I'm saying? Because when you ain't have that much, you had to make sure you was, stretching your finances. I said, but when you got it like that, you can actually give a good 10%. And you can actually give more than that. You know what I'm saying? Like even my homie, man, his wife is part of a like a Youth for Christ organization where they help the young people and you know, they get to travel and stuff for that. But they need sponsors, they need supporters, you know what I'm saying? And so, you know, I'm on part of the sponsor thing. You know what I'm saying? They came to me and said, hey, would you mind? Like, do you I was like, yeah, I'll do that. It's not like $50. And I don't think much of it. I'm just like, "What's this here? Yeah, I got $50, you know what I'm saying? Whatever." But then they was like, "No, this is doing big stuff." They was like, "Dude, this is doing a lot of stuff." So she had told me, she was like, she had wrote me a card. I think it was around like New Year's or something. Or it was a couple of months ago, whatever. But I got it on my refrigerator, but it was a card. Basically, she was just like, I want you to know how much you have impacted a lot of kids' lives and my life. You know what I'm saying? And she like, thank you for being so dedicated to this and just being supportive and stuff. And she said, the stuff that you doing has helped a lot of kids. You know what I'm saying? And I said, for real? I said, I ain't know that, you know what I'm saying? That feels good. I'm just like, dang, man, Stevie, Marty Marl love the kids. Stevie love the kids, man. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes, but I said, shoot, I better enjoy my $50. You know what I'm saying? But I said, that's good, man. It makes you feel good that you've been. See, this is why I'm saying don't be on YouTube just talking. Be impactful like that. Start doing stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I said, I'm like, God, if you bring a lot more, I'll do a lot more. You know what I'm saying? I can only do so much of what I got, but you bring a whole bunch more, I can do a whole bunch more, to help human nature. Yeah. So that's why I say, even with Spirit Airlines, man, the worst airlines probably ever. You know what I'm saying? But even when they shut down, man, a lot of people have lost their jobs. And so y'all know James Charles, right? That little gay boy with the YouTube channel that molest other little boys. This old little gay white dude. I don't know. He ain't been canceled yet. Nobody. I never like this little weird nigga. But somehow that he dies down. Somebody wrote into him. One of his fans wrote to him like, "Hey James," they was like, "Hey, I'm a big supporter of yours. I'm a big fan of yours." They said I just lost my job from Spirit Airlines. They said, "Could you possibly help me?" You know what I'm saying? They was writing humble. That takes a lot to write somebody to even know if they even gonna read it. And he did a response video to it. He was like, no." He said, "Go get a job." He's like, "I just think the fact that y'all think because I got money is gonna help everybody." And he was pretty much downing them for like losing their job and saying like, "Well, it's because y'all broke." I'm like, nigga, dang, they cut the lights off. I said, "Well, they must have turned my TV off." Like, what happened? Somebody cut the lights off. Somebody ain't pay their bill. But they gonna make jokes about that like they lost their job, and he's on there like, "Get a job." He's like, "I think the fact that you broke." Like making light of people being broke. And I said, "Yeah, I said they might be broke." And I said, "You a gay nigga that touch little boys." So I said, "I know you ain't trying to talk." It's already came out he was touching 15-year-old and 16-year-old little boys. I'm like, how he still got a career? How does he still got a career? He's molesting children. He almost lost his career because he got exposed for trying to turn straight men gay. And one of his girlfriends exposed him for that. And the whole internet hated him. Remember back, I don't know if y'all remember back in 2019. Everybody hated him because he was doing that. He came out with this old little fake apology video crying. No, it's not what you think. He got exposed and stuff. And somehow he was able to still keep his career. And then it came out that he was touching little boys, and somehow he was able to still keep his career. How is that possible? And then he gets on here and says something like this. I'm just like, dude, you lucky you even got a career at all. One of your fans come to you humble, like, "Hey man, I'm struggling, man. I'm dealing with something." You gonna go in there and bash him? Like, nigga, that ain't funny. Probably because he's a nobody, but I remember at the time it was big. The nigga don't do nothing but just try on makeup palettes, man. He one of them. One of them weirdos. Which again, nobody cares if that's what you want to do. But I said, with the fact you get in here running your mouth, I know you are not trying to talk, boy. You ain't a gay man. You a pedophile touching little boys, selling makeup. You get on here and bash one of your followers. I'm like, this a shame that your followers trying to come to you humble and you gonna bash them like that? Obviously, your followers are broke, dude. They average Americans like everybody else, dummy. They don't have the most money. They giving all their money to you. If I was a millionaire, somebody wrote me like, "Hey man, I just lost my job. Any way you can help me out?" Of course I'm gonna help you out. I'll see what I can do. We gotta make sure you legit first, because people be coming trying to get money. Somebody came over here months ago. They was like, "Hey man," they was like, "I just started a new job." They was like, they say, "I'm just trying to get to work and I don't have the funds for everything." And I gave them a little something. I said, "You know what? I'm gonna look out for them." You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, at least they trying to do the right thing. They trying to do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? I want to support their cause. You feel me? That's why I say you got to be careful, because a lot of times, man, you know how they say angels be in disguise. I think angels be in this form of humans, man, coming up to you like, "Hey, man, can I get something real quick? Can you help me?" That could be an undercover millionaire, man, trying to show where your heart is. And if you do that, they can do something for you. You don't know that. And don't just do it because of that, but just do it because you have a heart. That's why I said like a heart of like gratitude and genuine generosity. You know, like that's why I was saying when my message, the heart of the servant, like that's what it is. You do stuff like that, man. You have no idea. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Like, hold on. Heart of the servant, man, and generosity. That's why I be trying to tell you, stingy dumb niggas don't get nothing because they stingy dumb niggas. See, Steve ain't a stingy dumb nigga. That's why we receive, because we're not stingy, man. We give what we got. We give our time, our services, a sacrifice, our money, all type of stuff. And genuinely, that's why I said there was times I told people, nah, man. When I was like, nah, I ain't got no money for you, nah. But then I'll turn right around. I was like, oh, I'll get in the car and drive to him, give him some. God, remember Daddy would do it too. He'd be like, nah, bro, I ain't got nothing for you. And then he would think, and he was like, he would always do. He'd be like, here, go back up to here, man. You know what I'm saying? And I would look at him. I was like, nah, man. I was like, you ain't got. I was like, cause you stupid. I was like, nah, Daddy, you ain't gotta give him nothing. Nah, you ain't do that. And then I realized when he preached on why he did that, and I said that stuck with me. And I was like, no, that's true, man. He said sometimes God be like, hey, man, give him some money. He be like, well, but nah, God ain't gonna go buy dope. He was like, I don't care. I didn't tell you why they was gonna do it. He said, go give him that. Go give him some money. And then it hits me too. Like I said, there's times that you are relevant to say no. And then there's times you'll say no, and you like, eh, I guess. And then there's times you'll just be like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what that do to somebody, man. That touches people's heart, man. That's showing the love of God right there. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said, like, you keep saying God used me, like God put me in these positions, and then he put you in a position with a bum. It's like, dude, go do something that he's trying to get you to do. Like, you can understand that. That's why this channel does good. That's why all my stuff does good because it's a heart of generosity, heart of a servant. I don't walk out here blasting my Cash App all over the place, man. Because again, if you is gonna give me something on Cash App, I want to deserve something on a Cash App. Not for being the name of a man that y'all watch, but for actually doing something for the money that you're gonna pay me. So when I sell my music, that's me doing my job. Or when you enjoy the streams, you enjoy the laugh today, and you want to bless somebody, that's good. Or when I say something that you like and that helped you out, and you want to bless me, that's good. Or if you just feel like God is just telling you to give something, but you also like the person that I am, my demeanor, that's good. I earn all my money, man. I earn everything that I've ever had. And the reason it works is because I don't do it for no money. There's times I barely even monetize my streams. You know what I'm saying? After the stream is done, you can click on the monetization to get some money. I already know it's not gonna be that much money from it because again, it's not. I think it's every couple of thousand views you get like a certain amount. I don't really get over the 1,000 view mark no more. Yeah, because I don't care. I don't want. I don't even want a lot of people to be watching me. There's times I don't even turn it on because I'm just too lazy to turn it on. You know what I'm saying? But I said, again, YouTube still pays me for the views on the videos, and then it still pays me for the memberships that people get. You know what I'm saying? But people don't just get memberships because I told them to. People get memberships because again, of the stuff that I do, the stuff that they support me doing. That's why they do that. You know what I'm saying? It's not because I'm just telling people to. You know what I'm saying? Side B. Ouch. That's a little let me do something for someone, and they said it wasn't about what you gave, but that I was just asking God to show me He hears me and He showed me through you. That's good right there. That's why I said, see, and it feel good. That's why I said, like, even the pastor I know here, he had preached that. He said when he was first taught to do ministry, he said God had told him to, he had a large sum of money. He said God told him to just give it. He said, but God, he's like, you know how we get? He's like, you know how we get when it comes to money? We was like, well, why? You know how? And God was just like, just give it. He said, all right, God, that's all I got. You know what I'm saying? And he gave us large sum of money because he needed actually a lot more money or whatever like that. He said, I didn't know how God was gonna do. I just had to believe. He said, so I waited. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I just had to believe. He said somebody came up to him. He's like, I don't know why, but God told me to come give you this envelope. And it was the exact, it was like the exact amount that he needed. You know what I'm saying? I try to tell you, man, God worked like it. So I'm like, if I give $60, you gonna give me some more? Nah, but I'm just like, that's just how it works. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why I said when I watched that woman that's a millionaire, she was like, she prayed to God to be a millionaire because she knew that God was telling her, like he knew what she was gonna do with the money. She's not a stingy person, she's not selfish. She always put him first. You know what I'm saying? So she was always well taken care of, you know what I'm saying? And so now that God blessed her with the finances, like she's literally doing everything with the finances that she said she was gonna do. You know what I'm saying? And I said, God, I want that to be me too. I want to do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Not just so I can get a payout, because it's nice having a lot of money. But I said, what's the point of having $22 million in your account and you hoard it to yourself? Like, dude, I can't hoard this money just for me. You got people out here getting put out, man. They can't pay their rent. That makes me feel bad. Like, that's sad. I don't think God just made you a millionaire, man, just to count your riches and your blessings to yourself, man. Like, you supposed to help other people too, dude. Like, help them. People need that too. You know what I'm saying? Again, I mean, you don't necessarily have to because it is yours, but I said, but it's the heart of a service. Like that stinginess, man. I don't get nobody nowhere. You know what I'm saying? And that's why the pastor that preacher, he said, I've been around people with more money you'll never see. He said, I done been on private planes and been around people that just the meal they eating is costing more than a lot of stuff. He said, but they are terrified that every day they're gonna lose it all. They terrified that they're gonna lose everything. They still just as depressed as they was when they was broke. I've seen people get in a darker place when they got money than when they was broke. You know, so I've heard that a lot. So that's why I said, but that's what happened when you stingy, man, and you selfish. Like you always thinking about you. I said, what would make my heart happy, man, is being able to give to a lot of people, man. If I got 2 million in if I know I got $10 million, I can't take $300,000 and go donate that to the community. I do something with it. Fill up everybody's cabinets to where they got enough food for next winters. You feel me? For Easter's, like, come on, come on. People struggling with their rent, struggling with the car note. I can't pay it 1 month, 2 months. Also, like, come on, man. And God forbid, you live a very long time on this earth. But if you was to die, what are people gonna say about you? What are they gonna say? They're gonna say he was a good man or he was just a nasty nigga, or what they gonna say? You know what I'm saying? That's why I said now that daddy gone, daddy gone about 10 years now. But look what everybody can say about the man. Look what they say. Because of the stuff that he did, the sacrifice that he made, man, the money he invested, and the stuff that he's still doing, even in death, his name is still reaching people. You want to always have a positive review, man. I said again, that's what I told myself, man. When I got shot a couple of years ago, I was like, if I'd have died right there, what would people have said about it? What would they have said? Like, what could they have said? That's why so many people was upset and hurt that I did get shot because they was like, dude, we love you. You do a lot. You know what I'm saying? You a big part of our life. You feel me? You also want to make sure you have a good name. You know what I'm saying? I mean, God forbid you don't want nothing to happen to you, but again, you want to be used. You know what I'm saying? By God. So uh, uh, I don't want- have a heart, so, yeah. And it's not even about the money. That's why I said, like, God knows it ain't about the money. And God knows it with me. He knows it ain't about no money. Like, bro, I do not care about, like, I mean, I like money, don't get me wrong, but I've never flexed on the gram with it like that. I don't buy Louis Vuitton and Christian Dior. I mean, you might buy a little something, but I'm like, but that don't necessarily make you, I'm not a showboater with it. You know what I'm saying? Even daddy had told me that. He said, son, you good with saving your money. Cause I don't like to always spend my money. I like to save it. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't know a lot about finances at the time. But I was good with it because, like I said, I wanted to save it. You know what I mean? And then you always help other people with it. You know what I'm saying? The fact that I was willing to help other people out with their bills with it, when I could have just been like, no, it's mine. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, but no, I want to help them out. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I can give you a little bit, I might be able to give you everything. But I said I can give you a little bit, a little something to ease your trouble, to help your pain. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm willing to do something. You know what I'm saying? And it's having that type of heart, man, is what shows you can be trusted with a lot more. You know what I'm saying? You see people, man, they stingy over $5. You know what I'm saying? They get mad because you ain't paying them their $5 back. I'm like, bro, I don't even care about the five. If I lend you $5, keep it. Because I'm like, what if you don't want to give it back? And I ain't gonna follow with you on $5. I'm just like, bro, if you ask for $5, take it. I don't want it back. Like, that ain't no money. All these billions of dollars, and we gonna lose our mind over $5. Like, bro, keep it. Because people are like, I'll give it back. I don't want you to give it back. It's fine, man. God gonna bless you with another $5. Like, you know what I'm saying? The $5 you're gonna give me back is gonna go right to taxes. I ain't gonna be able to spend that. So I'm like, bro, it ain't like I'm worried about it. Happy to hear where your heart is. No, it is. And that's how our heart should be, man. Our heart should be like that, joyful and sharing it. You know what I'm saying? I know people act like that God don't care about money. He does. That's why he bestows money on people that he can trust. That's why Myron Golden said it, because Myron Golden's Christian. He's word based. And he said, God trusts me with abundance of money. That's why he gave it to me. Because of what he had to do to get it. You know what I'm saying? And he said, God gave me the knowledge because I'm good with people to teach other people how to get the same thing. And he been teaching me. You know what I'm saying? And when I learned this, I'm gonna go teach other people. I'm not a gatekeeper. I don't keep stuff to myself. I want to show other people how they can prosper and do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, bro, we need the keys to the game. I be trying to tell people it's good to sit on the word, but I said the word is not always just running around huggle bugging and jumping around. I said, bro, sometimes God puts a lot of his real knowledge in stuff. As I said back then in the Bible, man, they was not just going to church all day or nothing. These were politicians, dude. These was kings and priests. They were fishermen. They had jobs, man. They literally had jobs. And so that's why God will put stuff in scriptures is all about finances, man. God will put stuff in scripture to get them to understand this is a lifestyle. So that's why the Bible kept saying, like, don't become a slave to the lender. You know what I'm saying? It was basically saying, like, stop. Basically, I'm not saying necessarily not to rent, but it was saying, like, stop paying for stuff that you'll never own. Because again, you get in debt. You know what I'm saying? Then we got people in debt, man, the stuff they can't pay off, they'll never own it. You know what I'm saying? Like the Bible's trying to tell you about being smart with your money. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, a wise man puts up an inheritance for his kids. You know what I'm saying? Basically, that's pretty much saying like you working hard to get a 401k. You know what I'm saying? Putting up a college fund, a retirement fund. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it's saying. Like bro, having a child savings fund for your kids. You feel me? That's what the Bible's trying to tell people. Because you do have to have money to live in this world. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, we can't go to the IRS and give them a scripture because that does not work. That does not work, and it's so serious that even Jesus had to tell them, "Give to Caesar what's due to Caesar," because they were serious about their money. Like that stuff didn't work with them. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like you have to know how to have your finances. You know what I'm saying? But understanding putting God first, man, he definitely gonna make it bigger. You know. And so I remember I heard the pastor had said, he said, any and everything is already God's. He said, it's not your money. He said, it's God's money. He said, so any and everything was already God's first before it was yours. I said, dang, it's true. I said, dang, it's true. Any and all is the Lord's. You know what I'm saying? He's like, what about my bills? What about the rent? He said, any and everything, already God's. I said, well, that is true. See us first. So I don't know, man. So that's why I said, man, God knows you don't want to see people out here struggling. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to hear people struggling, but that hurts my heart. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, God, is there something we can do? You know what I'm saying? And I said, God, if you provide me with the finances, provide me with the organization, I'll do the work, man. I've been doing the work. So I'm just like, I'll keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I said, don't just stop just because you get rich, because you get big. Like, no, you don't just stop. I don't care if I had $10 million in my account tomorrow. I'll still be out there scooping mulch, still be out there serving at church, still be out there on the door, still be serving, doing something, taking out the trash. You ain't bigger than the program, G. That's what people didn't understand about Daddy, man. Daddy was still working, man. He was still doing stuff to the day he died. He was still doing stuff, man. Still cooking the meals, still out there at the Grace Retreat working. Like because he was showing you, he was like, I'm showing you that I'm humble, that I'm not bigger than the program. You know what I'm saying? You don't just stop just because you get rich. Because then when you stop because you get rich, then you just forgot what it was about. You was only doing it for the money. You didn't do it because your heart was in. Okay. I know why the Bible has said like it's about a heart posture because when you get what you want, you get the money, you stop with the heart posture. And then you stop, it was always just about the money. So I understood these principles. Yeah. Be a lot easier if they did. They apparently don't. So but that's why a lot of people, man, they prolong their blessings, you know what I'm saying? And that's why they want to be spiritually weird on YouTube, trying to be deep for everybody else. Because they can't seem to get these principles. They principles is bashing people with the word trying to be deep. That's why it ain't working. You know what I'm saying? Hmm. I said, but people don't want to go on YouTube and listen to your little whack word because you ain't called to do the word. You are not a people person, but people will sit down for hours listening to Myron Golden. They will listen to him because again, he's called to do it. People will sit down and listen to hours of Pastor Dar because he's called to do it. You not. And then he didn't just talk about living right and just talk about like just hucklebucking and shucking and jiving. He actually talked about season harvest and breakthrough. That he preached a lot about the money stuff, about the financial situation. Because that's a very big deal. You know what I'm saying? Knowledge is knowledge. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I said, bro, people just want to be spiritual on the spiritual side, but you gotta understand money is also spiritual too. The Bible talks about that. You know what I'm saying? Like wealth is important to God, man. Like it is. You know what I'm saying? And if people knew that, man, they wouldn't just be walking around here rubbing their two nickels together and thinking that's all that matters. Like, no, it's more to it, man. God be trying to make people millionaires, man, but they be so dumb. They be like, no, because money is wrong. And it's like, well, like maybe to some people it is. The Bible never said money was evil. It said the love of money was evil. Because the money itself ain't wicked. It's the love of it. It ain't wrong to have $100,000 on you. It's wrong if I want the $100,000, I'm gonna kill you for it. That's wrong. That's what it's saying. You could take your money and invest in trades and stocks, and receive a whole lot, or you can take your money to Epstein Island and buy kids. Whatever you do with it, it's how it depends on what the money is. Money is not bad. It's just the love of it. Because look at the love of what people do. You feel me? So I'm about to try to tell you, I said, bro, like people got to understand their scripture, man. They got to understand these verses. They got to understand talking points. And I said, money cannot possibly be evil because we have to use that to pay our bills. And we got to use that to pay our taxes. And I said, we have to still use that. I wish I can go to the IRS and tell them this. I can't. It don't work like that, which is why Jesus said, give to Caesar what's due to Caesar. Because they knew if they didn't pay Caesar his taxes, he's coming to lock them up. They knew that. They knew that's part of the system of the world. You still have to work in the system. Yeah, Jesus was deep, walked on water, but he was still a carpenter. He still had to do stuff. Like you don't just stop just because you're spiritual, idiot. Like I'm trying we try to tell these little spiritual weirdos. It's like, bro, you think because you spiritual that everything else stops. It don't stop like that, dude. If you don't pay the bills, they gonna put you out, man. That's just how it go. It don't matter how deep you is. That's when you an idiot. You don't know nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's why I tell people don't listen to these type people, man, because they gonna get you all evicted. You know what I'm saying? I said, God is literally, bro. There are literal millionaires walking, man. God literally has people that He destines for wealth to literally be millionaires. I'll be trying to tell you, man. But people be so like, nah, because they listen to these old weak pastors, and nah, because having money's a sin. And somebody in church told them that. And I said, they saying that because they can never make over 100 grand. Of course, they gonna say that. Everything that people can never do, they're gonna tell you is wrong, man. Just like a dude that tell you about women and stuff. Like, well, when you can't get women, of course you're gonna say every woman's a Jezebel and every or fornication. You're gonna say everything about that because you could never do it. You know what I'm saying? When you can't get the man that you want, you're gonna say, well, see, nah, because love just distracts you from God. Yeah, when you ain't got a good spouse, you gonna say stupid stuff like that. Well, you ain't got a good father. Now, fathers, they don't matter. What maybe it don't matter to you, it matter to other people. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you're not good at wealth, but God wants other people to be good at it. Stupid. So everybody's not the same. And I said, some people are destined for greatness and some people may not be destined for it. I said, that's if money ain't your thing, that's fine. But I would say probably 78% to 80% of people in the world will want that. You know what I'm saying? You trying to be deep with the scripture, and the scripture didn't even say that. And that's why I said, now we got to reevaluate. Do you understand, y'all? We got to reevaluate the whole Bible now. We got to reevaluate all the word because the word was always preached wrong by a bunch of idiots who don't know what they talking about. So for years, when people kept saying money was of the devil, and it's like, no, God literally gave people money. Keep reading the word, man. Well, God was using these women, and they kept saying now that God didn't use women. I'm like, see, now we got to reevaluate all the word now. Now we found out Christ then was a different color. All the word they was preaching to us was almost inaccurate. So now we got to reevaluate everything that says. So that goes with money too. It goes with everything because God never said that. And then when you realize, like, when you start breaking down scriptures and you seeing what that stuff meant, and it's like, well, they didn't tell us that. They told us that meant that, and then they never did mean that. You know what I'm saying? Then I said they used Christianity, man, to keep people broke, to keep people stuck in a slave mindset. That's what they did. To keep you submissive to what they wanted. You know what I'm saying? And the whole time God's word is prosperous, man. You feel me? Talking about heaven. We ain't gonna be broke in heaven. They talking about us gold and all type of stuff. Why does that matter if you're in heaven? Because that stuff do matter. That's why I be trying to tell you, man. Like, people got to think more, man, about like. That's why I said, man, read your own word for yourself. That's why you're supposed to evaluate for yourself. Stop going off what every man of God or woman of God said. Like, bro, you got to learn for yourself too, man, so you understand what the scripture says. Maybe it won't work for them, but it might work for you. What I realize, if you do what God tell you to do in the field that you're supposed to be in, He gonna take care of it. He can make you a millionaire. He can. Some people just ain't gonna get it because, like I said, they're a little slow or they don't care. I said, well, maybe you don't care. I do. I do. Because I'm not just trying to be a millionaire for me. I'm trying to be a millionaire for others. Trying to do a lot of things with my wealth because it was God's wealth first. And obviously, things stink over from dumpsters. Ugh. Smell like expired cheese whiz. Ugh, stink. But I said, obviously, he trusts me to have it. So, and when God trusts me to have this wealth, I'm gonna do something good with it. He wouldn't just give me a whole lump sum of money and know I'm an immature child. Like, no. Which is why he takes us on a process of what we got to go through. So there's processes why we broke. There's processes that we have to endure. Processes that is hard, that we struggling, because he's showing us to be humble and submissive. So when he does give us the big bank load, the big lump sum, We not gonna go out like a dumb child and go spend our money out over some stupid stuff. Because if God knew if He gave us $100,000, we buy the stupidest stuff right now because we don't know how to manage money and we end up broke. So He has to show us. I realized that I said, bro, God got to show you the hard times to get you grateful for the good times. So when you do get the money, you know how to manage your finances. Just because I go get $100,000 don't mean I'm gonna go buy a Ferrari because that's not a good investment. And they don't tell you got to keep paying on them things, man. Them things are expensive, and that's why a lot of these sports players go buy cars like that, and then they have to go get them repo because they not making enough to pay for the car. Like, bro, just because you get a couple of million, you don't know how much it costs to manage those cars. Plus the mansion that you got, plus the stuff, the jewelry and all that. Like, again, that stuff adds up. You don't know that. A mansion costs maintenance, man. You got to like, bro, you have to maintain that. You got to pay people to come. You paying about $100,000 in maintenance. You just thinking you looking at a mansion. Well, I'm making 15 million. It's only 2 million. Like you ain't add up all the fees throughout the year. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you see a lot of these rappers and you see like a lot of celebrities, they would get their stuff repoed or they say they owe a lot of money because again, they didn't think about the price tag because they was just like, well, I got money. It's like, okay. I remember I heard T-Pain say that he was like, when he first came out, he was getting all his money. He said nobody taught him about finances. So he just thought, he said they told him you was gonna keep getting paid. You're gonna keep getting paid. And so he said he was buying the most stupidest stuff, all the chains, all the money, all the houses and cars and stuff. He said they told him there was gonna be an endless supply of money. He didn't tell them, they didn't tell him about the financial side and the stuff that he had to do. So when the money stopped coming in and he was started owing them, then he was like, he didn't have no money. He went from being one of the richest rappers. He said, I had to ask somebody for money to go get a meal. Cause he ended up broke. Cause they didn't teach him about money. That's why we trying to tell niggas like, bro, stop being slow, stop being dumb. You feel me? Cause you got niggas that do that, man. Again, you see all these like Meg Thee Stallion went through it. Meg Thee Stallion, NBA YoungBoy, two dumb idiots, two dumb Negroes who can't read. And they putting their name on contracts and didn't even realize what they signed. And so they both was mad because they signed a contract that they can't get out of, which pretty much is saying they not gonna pay you for the money for the albums that you're doing. So basically, they had to owe them albums without pretty much getting paid for it. So now you see why a lot of they talk about the dark side of the music industry because idiots don't read the contract that they go put their name on it. Young boy already looks stupid, like he don't know how to read. Megan Stein, I thought she'd have read something. She's stupid too. She go sign it, then they go get mad. It's like, but dude, you should have read the contract, stupid. So young boy was trying his hardest to get out of his contract, man. He was fired up. He's mad at his label. And because he mad at his label, won't go take it out on people. I was like, well, that's what happened when you illiterate can't read, dummy. He's like, man, look, I'll just give y'all. He was like, I'll give y'all my next 4 albums free, man. Just give me out my contract. And they said, no, you're not getting out your contract. And he got mad at that. I was like, well, nigga, next time read the contract, stupid. And this is why God wouldn't give somebody like you $100,000 because then you would do stupid stuff like that. That's why I said I hate the struggle, but I know every day why God gave me the struggles. I'm like, dude, I would do stupid stuff like that too. You don't read the fine print, man. You just so busy trying to buy the latest car, man. That's all everybody do, man. Go get some money and go flex on a car, man. You know, everybody up here drive Ferraris and stuff. But that's because they got a lump sum of money where they can do that. You know how Negroes is, man. I was trying to stunt on everything. You feel me? Trying to impress some little thought. You know what I'm saying? That's why they try to clown this one NBA or NFL player. Can't remember his name, but he showed up to the game, and it was a basic new. It was a newer Honda Accord. I'm like, but those are good cars. It was like a Honda, a newest Honda Accord or Civics. Those are real nice, good cars. I'm like, what's wrong with that? They said, what's a 30? It's a car that's worth like $34,000. So just because he's an NFL player and he don't show up in a $2 million Lamborghini does not mean that he ain't got money. He's just smart with his money. And everybody was like, no, they was like, no, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Because they said, no, he knows that stuff costs money. That these investments, man, again, they not cheap. I know somebody that said they know some girl that works at like the Porsche store or like the Lamborghini store. They said that people had to pay like $90,000 a month on a car. 90 grand a month. Do you see now why they going broke? You paying $90,000 for a car, man. Not a house, car. So now do you see how even millionaires can go broke when they paying that off for years? Which a car, I don't think a car even worth all that, but they still paying it. Now you see why they getting repo. Now you see why they getting taken away because it's too much money. Why you gonna stunt with that? Just because you want $1 million, I mean you can afford a Ferrari. Stupid. You don't know how much the total of that stuff costs. $1 million ain't no money because mine is taxes. You probably only gonna get about 600, 700 something dollars, $1,000 back. Why not invest that in something, man, that's gonna worth his while? You feel me? Why not just go get a regular Chevy Impala? You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you gonna get a Chevy Cruze like the rest of us, cuz. Why you think you better than us? Them cars run just as good. That's what happens when you think you above the program. That's why I said people be thinking they better than everybody. And I said those cars are good to they cool to look cool in. You're not really gonna take the car to state. You're not really gonna do nothing with it. That's why I said people paying all this money for a car that they barely even take out the city. So I'm just like, I don't even think it's even worth that investment. You know what I'm saying? Spend it on something it's actually gonna be worth something on. You feel me? Like, I don't understand what's hard about that. That's why I said be smart and be wise with your money, man. Again, people don't think, man. They see money and think, oh, I'm just gonna go do it. It's like, no, bro, stuff costs more than what you think. But it is important to have money, man. It is important. You know what I'm saying? I believe, bro, when you do what you're supposed to do, God will give you right investments. I really believe that. God will give you the answers in your mind where you think you're just making random decisions, but it's really God telling you to say that, God telling you to do that. And you end up hitting the jackpot. You have no idea. That's why I say it's important to pray affirmations every morning, man, every day. You know what I'm saying? I do that practically almost every day. That's why y'all see me when I go on these little walks and these little rants for live streaming. Y'all like, bro, how much have you been walking at? How you do this for hours? Because this is what I do in the morning. I do this all the time, every day, practically almost every day. That little long trail I be going on with y'all, and I sit down at the hilltop where y'all can see the horizon and stuff. I do that one every morning, like almost every morning, dude. And what do I do out there? I take my music and I take my affirmations and I go out there and say that and I repeat it. You repeat each affirmation twice to make it more powerful. And you do a total of like what? One is 30, the other one is 15, and the other one, so that's like 60. So what is 60 times 2? 120. You saying 120 affirmations total every day, practically almost every day. You know what I'm saying? And now when you seeing it work, that's why I said all of that work and that prayer that you put in, God sees that and he makes it work. That's how you know it's important, you know what I'm saying? I think people have to understand that, man, so they know how to navigate in this life, you know what I'm saying? Even with what's going on in the world and money feel like it's getting scarce and stuff. I said I ain't worried about it because I'm like, it ain't over to God said so. So God want us to have this stuff, we gonna have this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Finances is still thing, God gonna keep providing finances. He's gonna keep doing what he doing. So that's why I said I'm good. So that's why I said we need more classes on wealth and finances, man, so people know that. That's why I tell everybody, like, bro, go watch Danielle Pulu, go watch uh uh Miles Monroe, man, go watch Myron Golden, go watch people who know this type of there's all type of them that have good information. I watch some of them, I just don't remember their names. A brother that I was watching at one point, man, before I was watching the rest of them, his name is AB Academy. AB Academy, man. Like he's a good dude, man. He a young guy. He only like 24, 25. You know what I'm saying? He has started making money off like YouTube and he makes money off of just pretty much everything. That man make money off everything. He's a good, young, intelligent black brother. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I came from the hood, you know what I'm saying? I came from nothing. He said, and I wanted to do so in my life, so I did this. And he's showing people how to do what he's doing. He's intelligent. Dude was talking about he wake up, he reads chapter books. You know what I'm saying? But he reads chapter books and talking about, yeah, go read, man. Go enlighten your mind. You know what I'm saying? He's from Atlanta. He look like any other ATL nigga. I said, but he's not. He's smart. You know what I'm saying? And I was learning a lot of stuff from that guy. You know what I'm saying? He was teaching me a lot of things. You know what I mean? He motivated me to do a lot of the stuff that I'm doing. That's why I tell you, man, like go learn more about that stuff. Go watch more of those type people, man, who will teach you. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said now I'm more relaxed now. So I watch a lot of funny stuff on my TV and just stupid stuff. You know what I'm saying? But at one point, when I was serious, y'all, when I was serious locked in, all that was on my TV was educational stuff. If it wasn't educational videos, I wasn't watching it. If it wasn't videos about the craft that I was learning, I wouldn't watch it. I would give myself a break at night, like when I'm laying in bed, I'm on the couch, like, just relax. I'll watch whatever I want to watch. But I usually when I eat food, I'll probably watch a little something. But everything that I watched all day was educational, man. I was building my e-commerce store last year. All I was watching was videos on e-commerce, videos on how to build business, videos on how to network, videos on how to reach people, videos on how to do this and that. That's all I did. If I wasn't on live stream with y'all or doing music, I was doing that. That's why I had a small anxiety attack because that's all I did all day, from sun up to sun, freaking down. That's all I did was just read and study and barely give myself sleep, man. I wasn't even sleeping that long. I was getting up early in the morning, working, and you know what I'm saying? I did that all day, man, sun up to sundown. So my body didn't know how to relax. It didn't know how to tell me what I was feeling. I was just coming out in a different way. But I was so determined, man. I was so determined to be better that I studied and learned this educational stuff, man, because I knew that's important. I was showing how serious I see. God knows how serious I get. God knows I'm not a lazy man. He knows I'm not. If you work yourself to the point where you got anxiety, you know you are not a lazy person. You are not. That shows you doing everything but rest, like most lazy people are. You know what I'm saying? But I had to learn the importance of rest. I said, look, you can't enjoy life if you did. You know what I'm saying? You can't enjoy life if you keep having these attacks, man. You gotta learn to stop. That's God's way of being like, I'm not saying he gives it to you, but I do believe he allows you to experience that to be like, dude, shut up and sit down. Like, stop. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, nah, if I'm not working on a Sunday, I'm lazy. It's like, dude, if you're not working on a Sunday, you doing the Sabbath, which is what he told you to do. Rest. You working on a Sunday, like you think because you put in more hours, that's gonna make you more successful faster. No, it just makes you more frustrated faster. It really does. Some stuff is a process that takes days and weeks. You trying to speed it up by working all day from sun up to sundown, and then it's not gonna make it work faster. Sometimes it's just not gonna do it. So it's gonna frustrate yourself even more. Hold on. But like I said, hopefully what I'm saying makes a lot of sense to people. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I said I'm getting rid of this little garbage channel, but I'm taking some of the best moments from here, some of the best clips of what I'm saying and what I'm doing. Cause I know what I'm gonna do, which I don't understand. See, I'm thinking with a business mindset already. That's why I'm trying to tell y'all. Like, this is why I tell y'all if y'all in my Discord community to take clips of what I'm saying and put them in that chat that I made for clips. Because what I'm doing, I'm already thinking with a motivational mindset, a business mindset, is that I'm gonna take the clips that I post and put it on a brand new channel. That's gonna generate revenue, which generates more money because most people are looking for motivational stuff. I'm telling you, I got a business mindset already. That's why I be trying to tell people, like, if you're not gonna be a part of the vision I'm saying, I'll do it by myself. Because if I gotta do it by myself, I don't need you. I don't need you to do nothing. That's why I'm so to myself. In a way, it's kind of selfish because it's just like I understand when it comes to having people do stuff, everybody can't always do stuff. I get that. But then some people it's just like they just don't want to. So I'm like, so then why even get you to do stuff if you ain't gonna do it? I'll just do it myself. Because I know if I do it myself, I don't need you up for nothing. I'll just do it. I got over 300 something live streams, man. I tell people to go through those. If I got to start paying people eventually, because I don't want to sit out there all day and do it, I'll pay people to start looking through those and finding the best clips, the funniest moments, and the best motivational clips that I'm saying. So I can turn that into other small form content. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. When y'all see me do my music live streams, not only are they music live streams for y'all to enjoy, I take clips of those and put it on Snapchat or put it on Instagram and TikToks and all the social medias, because then again, that builds a platform with an audience over there. It advertises my work that I do if people are looking to buy. And then it also uh is good content for people who are interested in that type of stuff. And then on top of it, you get monetized, which means you get paid for doing it. I can do one video on YouTube, one live stream of music on YouTube, or even this content, and then I can take the same content, make little snippets of it, post it to TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and get 4 different checks for one thing. See, that's called a business mindset. So that's why I told you if I got to do it by myself, I'll just do it by myself. Because I don't mind. I already have a mindset of doing this, whether you gonna help me out or not. That's why I said y'all ain't got to come here and talk. You ain't got to come in here and do what I'm asking you to do. That's fine. Everything's not mandatory. So I said you can do what you want to. I know what I'm gonna do. So when I start doing it and it starts working, I said if I gotta do it by myself, I'll do it by myself. I don't mind. A lot of clips that I took and put on my music channel was from, from some people in the community, but some of them was from me. Because I knew how serious I'm about, bro. I'll just do it myself. You know what I'm saying? When you are determined to build something and to get something like that, you will do what you have to do. You feel me? That's how I feel. So that's why I'm telling you, before I take all this stuff off his channel, go through here and get the moments that I'm telling you to get. Clip them, timestamp them. It ain't got to be more than 30 seconds to a minute. That's fine. If that's too much people to do, then I'll do it myself because I'm already happy about the vision that I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? It's up to you to go find your own wave of what you want. You know what I'm saying? Your motivation. That's fine. What I know what I'm doing. I know what I want. So again, I ain't tripping. I ain't worried about it. Ah, mm. Well, like I said, some people won't understand what you're saying or how you're saying it. That's fine. You don't need to. I know what I'm doing working. It's gonna work for me. Can't say it for you though. So, and that ain't for me to say for you. That's not my issue. You got to figure out what you got, what you good at. You know what I'm saying? I know what I got. That's why I said before I did this channel, I had a vision of doing this. So that's why I said when it starts forming the way that it should and starts working, I've been on this wave. I've been thinking about this already. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said like this is nothing new for me or to me. I know about this. You know what I mean? So that's why I said I got a lot of things I want to do, but I can't do it all at the same time. Eventually, it's gonna get to a point where I have to pay people to do it for me because I don't mind. I don't mind paying people to do this for me. You know what I'm saying? Because then again, when I'm saying with a business mindset, I'm making jobs. That's why we try to tell y'all, like, bro, I'm making jobs on top of it. Out of doing something I love doing, having fun, making money, and I'm giving people a job opportunity. I was finna pay my friend, but when I was doing my e-commerce store last year, I didn't again, I was making they say you have to use Pinterest. I had to use a lot of Pinterest pins and stuff. Pinterest is for women. I don't use that. You gotta make it really nice and glitter, and I can decorate. I mean, I have some stuff I made it look good if I showed you. It actually do look good. But I mean, I don't do that, man. That's kinda gay. I'm like, I don't do that. But I knew that when you do the stuff for women, they was the one Pinterest is 80% women. So women are on there buying stuff all the time. You make a lot of money off of that. I was gonna pay my friend that's a woman to make my Pinterest pins. I was gonna give her like $200 a month or $200 a week just to make pins because I just didn't want to do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? That right there would have gave a nigga a job. You know what I'm saying? I gave you a job for that. That's it's simple money, simple, easy money. You know what I'm saying? I'm making jobs on top of it. It's all business mindset. You know what I mean? That's why I said some of y'all, man, I feel sorry for y'all, the ones that come in here and just staring at me like y'all a bunch of senior citizens. Like, I already know y'all probably ain't gonna do nothing with y'all life. Y'all ain't gonna do nothing big with what y'all got going on. So that's why I don't expect y'all to say nothing. See, people that's like me, they excited. They love talking about this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, oh man, I see the vision. I got the same thing going on for me. Y'all old fools just sit in the background. Y'all ain't saying nothing. I ain't got nothing going for y'all. So that's why I said it's fine. So when I do that elsewhere, y'all won't be over there doing that. Y'all won't be over there part of it. You know what I mean? Because you don't have the same mindset that somebody else does. And honestly, everybody different. I'm not saying everybody gonna be like us or do the same thing that we do. But I said, quite frankly, I don't like being around too many people who don't have the same mindset as me. I don't. I'm not down on them and I'm not criticizing nobody, but I said I personally like to hang around people who are either on the same level or they better than me. There's nothing wrong with being around people that's better than you. They just motivate you to be better. I like that. Because I know when somebody is, and I don't want to say lesser, but I know when somebody who's either too common or they just ain't trying to like trying to progress their life. Those are people I just can't get with. You know what I'm saying? Those are people I just can't be around because I'm like, you too comfortable being where you're at. Henceforth, the reason why I moved from Louisville, man, because everybody too comfortable there. Like you just people are just too comfortable living in nothing, just doing nothing. You know what I mean? I can't do that no more. That's why I said I usually don't stay for more than 3 days when I go back. But come day 4, and I'm still there, and I start to realize a lot of them common feelings come back. I'm like, I don't like it, man. It makes you feel bad. Like it makes you feel too good. We're supposed to make you feel bad. I'm like, no, you too common. You got to get up and leave, man. You got to get up and move out of here. You feel me? This ain't it. You can't stay here like that no more. You know what I mean? You got to go where somebody challenges you, and that's why I said San Antonio has been challenging. But now that it's working and it's good, it feels great. So that's why I said I didn't like the challenges in life. I said, but I like the fact that I did have the challenges because they motivated me to be who I am today to have what I got. You know what I'm saying? I have the mindset that I have. The last 2 years of my life, man, I had to really be challenged to do better and do something. So that's why I said everybody's not gonna be on the same wave as that. And that's okay because I don't necessarily need or want everybody to be on the same wave as that because I know people ain't serious about nothing. They don't care, you know. I do though. Maybe you don't care about how you live your life. I do. Maybe you don't care about who your audience is. I do. My audience is a very big part of what I do. You know what I'm saying? And when I see I got losers and spiritual weirdos and niggas who ain't never lived for nothing, I'm like, I don't like those type people, man. They ain't never did know what they life. So then when I'm over here talking big stuff, people like, well, why does that matter? And I say, you know, you just gotta understand half price and that's it. And see, now the world's gonna end. It's like, well, nigga, the world ain't ending yet. The world is not ending yet, bro. It could be another 50 years, another 65 years. We don't know that. Talking to these old dumb spiritual weirdo niggas, man, they never did nothing. I said, you gonna live your life doing nothing with your life, dude. And the whole time God was trying to make you rich on earth while money was still worth something, and you too stupid to listen to him. He's trying to get you to do his will, man, so he can bless you and give you the finances and the funds. He needs somebody to move in the earth and do it, and you too stupid to listen to him. So he gotta go use a Gentile, another vessel, man, because you don't know nothing. Now y'all see why I want to get off his little raggedy platform, man, because I got a bunch of these type niggas over here. I don't want that. They don't know the first thing about money I created, man. They don't know the first thing about nothing. People, well, you got 10,000. They're not 10,000 people I want. They are not 10,000 people that's even supposed to be here. Some of y'all 10 people in here now should even be over here. If not, all y'all 10 people should be over here. I take that stuff serious, man, because I said you might not care about your life and your platform. I do. You might not care who you date, who you marry. I do. Stuff is serious to me, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said sometimes you got to work super hard, man, to get what you need to get what you got. But in the long run, like I said, it pays off. That's why I said so. Raggedy platform has paid off. We did what we had to do. We reached a lot of people. We took the best of the best, a handful of the few select, and we still choosing. So if you happen to be one of the ones that you that if you happen to be one of the ones that's chosen to be a part of what we got going on new, good for you. If not, a good riddance, a Arrivederci. I hope to never see some of y'all niggas again. I don't want nothing to do with y'all. I don't want to pop up on no more of y'all timelines. I don't ever want y'all watching me. I don't ever want y'all around me. I don't ever want to appear next to one of my father's videos online ever again in my life. Don't ever click my stuff and don't ever search me and look for me. And I mean that with a passion. I don't want to be on no more of y'all timelines. I want people that actually want to be destined with their life, man. Not niggas that want to be sitting right there being a slow sheep, a worthless sheep doing nothing. Daddy didn't like people like that either. I don't like people like it either. So no, I don't want people like it around me. So forgive me if I'm very business minded and if I'm very prosperous right now. But I think we've been defeated enough. I'm tired of that. I don't want to be around defeated people no more. Not saying that people ain't going through. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about people who just don't care about nothing. I'm not gonna be a part of that no more. I know where I stand on that. So it just is what it is. So some people, man, they just gonna do what they do. That's fine. I ain't worried about it. That's why I said it's okay. People ain't gotta come in and talk no more. Because now people are talking on my TikToks now. And now I got a platform where I can stream to multiple services at the same time. And I'm gonna be too busy streaming over there to even be talking to y'all over here. And that makes me very excited. Now you finally got an opportunity to do it better and do it right. See, now on my other stuff, I get to make my thumbnails and have fun customizing and adding hashtags and fun titles to this. I don't add a fun title to this channel, this stuff no more because it's not fun. I don't care about it. As I said, I'm giving y'all live stream almost every other day because it's gonna be a time where I don't do it no more. And so a few people that's the best of the best, they already got selected to go over there with us because they a bunch of winners. Can't say the same for some of y'all because I don't even know you. I don't even know who's in there now. That's why I said I just talk and go on my rant and let people hear what I'm saying. That's fine, you know what I'm saying? But don't say I didn't say it. Maybe you won't respond to me. I say nothing, but I said maybe it'll motivate you to actually get up and do something with your life. Stop being an idiot. And then maybe you'll find me in the long run and say, hey man, hey, I enjoyed what you said. You was right. I actually got up and did something with you absolutely right. Either ways, not my problem. So I enjoy my life, man. I want everybody to enjoy their life. You know, in 2 months, you know, channel still be up, but there's gonna be no activity on it whatsoever. So good luck to you. Good luck to you. I think you got to know what you're living for and what you got, so you don't sit around. You know, I don't want people sitting around idle by watching me. That's one thing I don't understand. Like, I mean, I know people gonna watch you, but don't just watch me and worry about what I'm doing with my life, man. And you know what I'm saying? Like, do something with yours. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not just on here just for jokes, but I am on here for enlightenment too. Like, that's what I'm saying. That's why it's nice to know that people actually take what you're saying serious. Like, people like, oh yeah, hey, I'm in here listening. Yeah, sounds good. You know what I'm saying? When people don't say nothing, it's just like again, I know somebody is taking it that way, but they just probably don't want to say nothing. That's fine. But I said, but when the content gets dry and I'm done talking, I'm done talking. So, you know what I'm saying? And as you see, these live streams are not once what they used to be. You know what I'm saying? Of course, because as time goes on, stuff just gets different. You know what I'm saying? 2 years later, I lost my passion for it. You know what I'm saying? I really have. I just don't even see it the same way. I used to put a lot of energy into my titles. Hey, y'all should see this, man. Go back to my old live stream, my first one. You'll see the thumbnails there. I was wearing the same thing in the thumbnail that I was wearing in the video. It was all AI. I use AI to make my stuff. You know what I'm saying? Use the hashtags, everything. You feel me? Like I was so delicate with it, man. And I'm like, now it's like, bro, this is like something you just throw on when you gotta go outside and check the mail. Like you don't even care no more. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, again, as time goes on, it's whatever. As time goes on, we lost people. People have been here, we gained some, we lost some. You know what I'm saying? Which we don't care. You know what I'm saying? If people idiots, they ain't nothing wrong with them, they just idiots. So I'm just like, if they don't want to be here no more, don't want to be a part, whatever, man. I don't care. And then some people got life. We understand they're dealing with life. And then some people like, I'm not your babysitter, man. I'm not here to keep upset, keep like tabs with you. I don't care about that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said, like, bro, we all just doing our own thing. And what's more important, like I said, is we all doing our thing. This is old. I was never supposed to do this for a long run. I didn't want to do this for the rest of my life. I just wanted to do it for a period of time. You know what I'm saying? And I thought, well, maybe that period of time will be like years and years from now. I'm like, bro, this is 2 years and I'm fed up with it. We got the nutrients from this. Let's go find something else we can build a platform on. So, this ain't once what it once was, but that's okay because everything's not the same all the time. You know what I'm saying? But, I do think this had a lot of potential to be something better than what it is now. But apparently, I can't do that with the whack audience I have. I'm like, bro, like most of the audience be just mad weird. I'm like, I can't really do nothing with it. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't they don't care. Like, so it's hard. And that's why I said it's very frustrating to try to tell your vision and to have some fire and motivation about something that you motivated about that you want other people to be also fired up and motivated about. And they don't care. They just living for another paycheck. Like they don't care about nothing. You feel me? They don't care about anything at all. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said, like, I just don't have time for that, man. That's why I said I don't like people on my line. I don't like people doing that stuff. I ran into some girl, man, off my I was outside doing my music a couple of like about a month, 2 months ago. And she came up to me, trying to talk to me, and she was trying to recruit me for like her business stuff. And I'm just like, again, I was like, I mean, maybe she had a point to some of the stuff she was saying, but I was just like, I'm just not interested. Like, I just don't have time for that. She kept trying to meet on Tuesdays. I'm like, bro, I can't meet on Tuesdays. I got stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? So then it got to a point where she started copping like a little attitude to me. I'm like, nigga, you came to me trying to recruit me, stupid. You're like, bro, you came to me. She's like, well, I ain't gonna hold my breath. She was like, you don't care. That's your problem. I said, nigga, you came to me though. With your whack timing, bro. You gonna get mad at me for? And guess what I do? Don't respond to niggas. I'm like, I don't even know you. I didn't even save your number under your name. I don't even know you. You here trying to holler at me at 2 in the morning. Nigga, I don't want to talk about no business at no 2 in the morning. You feel me? That's why I said I ain't got time for it, boy. I ain't got time for nobody like that no more. I don't care. You know, so I ain't gonna hold my breath. But then why you hold your breath? You text me for stupid trying to recruit me. 'Cause you want some money out of it. Leave me alone. She said, I'm trying to teach you about financial freedom. I already know about financial freedom. I'm already walking in it right now. I'm trying. I'm doing everything I can to walk in it. It's already working. I don't need you to tell me that, stupid. You 2 years too late. You should have told me that 2 years ago. Try to act like now you coming doing a nigga a favor, man, please. So what's up the audacity of people, man? Something wrong with y'all entitled Negroes. Something wrong with y'all. So, like it or not, take what I'm saying serious or not my issue. I'm just doing something else of my own. So, like I said, whether that be you or whether that don't be, whatever, like I said, people just gonna have to take it the way they take it. But I know what I want. So I can't speak for everybody else when it comes to that, but I can definitely speak for me. Anyways, I'm off this live stream, y'all. I don't got nothing else to say to y'all. Y'all definitely ain't never had nothing to say to me, so it's all good. I don't even know, y'all. Oh man, time winding down. Where I can get away from y'all weirdos. Thank God. Never been so happy. Out of here, y'all. Y'all go to bed. Stop stalking the niggas. Goodbye.